Hello everyone, welcome back to Difficult Terrain. Marshall, how you doing?
I really chose a poor moment to eat. Hello, everyone. I have my bagel. I have my coffee, and we're ready to get rip roaring. Putty and I here were just talking about the culture in which we live. And we were talking about VTTs and how Roll20's quite accessible. Wouldn't you say?
I would, yeah. Yeah, it's the VTT that I've used for ages. I get very frustrated with Roll20, but I do think, on the balance of things, it's the way to go if you're wanting to get in quickly with a disparate group of players.
So I'll tell you this. So I can't think of it. There is a new VTT that is big right now. That is going for that is specifically stylizing itself as like the best option for tables that use a lot of theater of the mind play, right? So games like Call of Cthulhu or I don't know, even I don't know, lots of games, Pendragon. I don't know. There's lots of games where grid-based combat isn't as essential. Blades in the Dark, something like that, but I cannot think of what it's called. And when I remember it, I'll remind you of it because it is an interesting product. They're really going to make it look as sleek and sexy as possible, which I think is cool. But the other thing is, so I recently, not this year but last year, participated in a PaizoCon online, where I just played random games with strangers for like 3 days, and
sounds great.
It was fun. I've been doing a lot of cons lately. We can talk about that. I've been to 2 Gen Cons now.
Cool.
And I've been to a few local cons here and there. I'm really loving it. I can't go to Gen Con this year, unfortunately, but hopefully next year. But basically, on this online con, we played in a Starfinder game that the host ran it on Google Sheets. Entirely on Google Sheets. Now, at first, I was like, "This is the without knowing what the setup was, I was like, this is gonna be the most scuffed shit ever. Like, this is gonna be so weird." And actually, since that day, I have been fascinated by what she did to make it work, and I really want to try it one of these days because it was so lightweight. Anyone could run it. Like, you could run it on basically like a phone or a tablet or any piece of garbage. It didn't matter what you had. And literally, for the maps, she just gave everyone editor privilege so you could move things around on the sheet. So she'd have grid maps with little pictures for the tokens, and you can move them on the sheet. And then she'd have pages for art. She'd have pages for story details. She had pages for DCs. She'd be like, "Here's the DC for the check." That was almost too much, but it was really. And then she had pages for our character sheets that we could go to, and everyone could navigate on their own and go to places they wanted to. And then she would. Now, it did require a little bit of trust because on pages that had stuff we weren't supposed to know, she just had a picture over them. But we had an editor privilege, so we could move that picture down. Yeah. So you had to but I mean, I'm of the mind that you should trust your players, and if you're playing with people you don't trust, then I don't know, it's weird. So I think I say that I have played with people I don't trust over the years, but I try to play with them less and less. And it yeah, I don't know. It was just I wanted to mention it because it's one of the weirdest things I've ever been a part of.
I've been looking at spreadsheets for tool, not to play an RPG on one, but to use as tools to help with RPGs, and they are obvious. I mean, they are very powerful tools. There's the one thing that really opens stuff up for me is there's a random number function, so that makes it really easy to if you want to do random number between 1 and 100, you've just rolled a d100 for a table, and then you can cross-reference with VLOOKUPs what you rolled and generate from basically roll tables really easily. So yeah, it makes sense to me that you could run something like that. And that brings up a good point that, like, I think one thing that I forgot to mention when we were talking about Roll20 is I mainly think Roll20 is really good for that grid-based combat. It's really easy to set up.
Yeah.
And you know, 5e I think is a game especially that it really benefits from being able to do quick grid-based combat, because it's quite good at, like, okay, we you know, we get together and it's pretty easy to put something compelling together in the mechanics of 5e. I think, you know, if I was going for something more theater of the mind, or something that's less gritty isn't the right word, but like crunchy, I think that would be, I would definitely be less attached to Roll20. And indeed, when I run in person, I'm less inclined to run 5e, because it's, again, Roll20 just makes it so easy to run 5e. I think that's part of the reason why I like it.
Oh, I actually also enjoy grid-based combat in person, but I enjoy it for different reasons than I enjoy it online. Like, I think
I enjoy it. It's just it's because it's more difficult to do. It's more difficult to set up. Yeah,
it's more difficult to set up,
yeah.
And so it's more of a. It becomes more of like a. The reason I like it is it becomes like an act of love. It becomes like a thing you're doing together, and you're like, you know, you're drawing out the terrain, or maybe if you're really hardcore, you have like things to represent the terrain, but you might just draw it out on you know one of those mats or a piece of paper or something. And you know, if your players are inclined, you can get minis, and you can kind of try to
3D printing has been really good for that. I don't know if you've
have you been
experienced
3D printing stuff?
Yeah, so one of our groups has a guy who's got a 3D printer and is really into it. So for one of our sessions last year, he 3D printed like a shit ton of minis.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, I know a few people who
there's a website.
Do that.
I think it's called Character Forge or something. Maybe, I don't know. There's a website where Hero Forge, and instead of buying the actual mini, you can buy the file that you can 3D print it yourself.
Yeah. One thing I know also people have done with Hero Forge for online games is you can pay like $5 for like a subscription, and it will let you like take like high quality posed pictures of the characters you've made, so you can like make your portrait instead of finding one online, right? You can design your character and then take. I know some people that like doing that because, like, often you have an idea for what your character looks like, and if you don't feel like investing in art for it, which I've done a few times, but it's, you know, it's generally like you might only do that if you know the campaign's going to last for a really long time, and like, you know, you're going to
not recommended in my games, because
I would never do it in your games. My characters have never lived past a year in your game.
One person has done that in one of my games.
Well, I'm sure. I think it's probably the odds are a little also stacked up against in single player combat, because it's. I mean, I'm not saying, I don't think you're unfair with the way the monsters are set up. I just think when something goes wrong, it's over. Yeah. You know, when you have multiple characters, you can, especially with the way the 5e healing rules work, you can kind of do a little bit of shuffling around over and over again to try to keep yourselves alive. But when you're just you and you don't have a cleric, it's like, this one's going to be a little different, I think, because it's not just me. We have some backup, so that'll be. I'm really interested to see how you balance. Like, do these characters, are you basically, like, are you considering, like, are they as tough as PCs? Or are they weaker than PCs?
They're well, I think it depends.
They're
slightly
probably
a little weaker. Yeah, I think it depends on the role as well. I think the warrior role is quite strong. But the spellcaster role, I think, is a lot weaker than a real spellcaster.
Yeah, which makes sense. I mean... And I mean, it makes sense that it's kind of hard for them to design it elsewise, because how are you, the main thing that makes fighters strong is that, like, they hit hard and they can fight. So I mean, you would just have to make their modifiers lower and make their health lower, which maybe they do.
I think the opposite, actually.
They don't.
If you look at is it
Kratz?
Kratz, yeah. I think he has the warrior. One of the craziest things I've seen, which is that one of the early warrior abilities is just +2 to hit on everything. Yeah,
yes, +2 to hit, +2 to damage against beasts, which probably
that's one that part of my version.
I really like that. Yeah. I really like that. And then he's got He's just got improved critical. He's basically as good as I am. He's got most of the things I do.
But he won't get extra attack until level 6.
He won't get. Oh yes. Oh, until level 6. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I think it's level 6 when these classes get extra attack.
Yes, and I get it at level 5.
At level 5, yeah.
Okay. Cool. The almighty level 5.
You get a whole level earlier.
Yes, which could, to be fair, that could be significant. 1 second, an alarm's going.
All right. Yeah, good luck with that. Okay, I hope Marshall's okay. In the meantime, maybe I can show you Kratz. Here. If I go like this. And try it again.
All right, not sure what that was. I think cooking my bagel set the alarm off, which doesn't make sense to me. I didn't make it that dark. Either that or there's carbon monoxide and we're all dying, but I don't think that was the carbon monoxide alarm. So,
okay, cool.
We'll find out. If I start getting like a little, like if you start noticing me kind of falling asleep a little, maybe go, hey, Marshall, you might want to open a window.
All right, okay. Maybe you preemptively open the window. Wait, actually, hold on. Well, I mean, you should do that. If you're gonna do that, you should do that. But if not, I don't know, because we hadn't talked for a while. Did I tell you the story about when I had a gas leak in my place? Have you ever heard this story?
I don't know if you told me that.
Okay. So this was a few years back now, towards the end of when I was living in the north, and I thought for a couple days I thought I smelled gas, but I wasn't sure. So not a couple days, because it only took me a day before I alerted somebody about it. But on the first day, I was like, that smells a little bit like gas, but I wasn't certain about it. So on the second day, I was like, I'm gonna have to call somebody because this is obviously like a huge risk if it is gas. And so the people came around and they were looking and they couldn't find the source of the leak, but they thought it was like underneath one of my cupboards in the kitchen. They thought, that pipe, it must be the leak. And they were about to leave when they checked one more time and they realized that the gas leak wasn't coming from my flat, but it was coming from the flat below mine. And it wasn't a gas leak, but they had left their gas grill on for 2 days. And they didn't realize it because they had lost their sense of smell because they had had COVID. But for 2 full days, they had left this gas grill pumping gas into the flat.
And are they okay?
They are okay, yeah.
That's shocking.
Yeah.
Turns out this is all propaganda. You can just breathe gas. You don't even need
I lit my stove that day. So I very much could be not here anymore had I gotten unlucky on that occasion.
This is definitely one of those things that there's always things that future generations look back on and are like, why did they design things that way? And like, the world's gonna go fully electric on heating in the next 100 years, and I think there will be a day when people look back and go, wait, you had like flammable gas pumping into your buildings constantly, and all it took was one forgettable person for you all to die? It's like,
Wait, hold on. I mean, you built your buildings with cladding on the outside that was flammable?
Isn't that wasn't that a big like thing in Britain, right? With a bunch of apartment buildings caught on fire, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was a big
Which
thing.
seems like something out of the industrial age. Like that seems like something that'd be happening in the 1890s. I think
they were new builds. I think they were in the 90s or something, and I don't think they were that old.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Anyway,
should we play the Dungeons and Dragons?
Well, here's the thing.
Yep.
I want to play the dungeons. I would like to avoid the dragons. Okay.
That can be arranged. That
can be arranged. We'll play Dungeons and Balrogs. No. All right. Yes, I am ready.
Great. So why don't we start things off? In one sentence, what is this campaign?
Okay. I thought you said one word. Okay, one sentence.
One sentence. And it can be 2 for now. We might get it down to 1 next week if you want to slowly get it to 1.
To reclaim the gold, precious jewels, and culture of a fallen dwarven civilization.
Okay, excellent.
Maybe I'll refine that a little more. But I mentioned culture because I do think there's some part of this that like, I mean, if we come upon like books and stories and things like that, I don't think that's going to be meaningless to Admand. I think that stuff is valuable too, and something that we'll probably cherish if we find it. So yeah, I think that's something that obviously he's mostly interested in the money, but like he won't look askance at some interesting tales that we learn as we go through these old cities. Anyway, what were you saying?
What happened last week?
Last week we got the party together. We had some cheeky pints at the tavern, at the local ale house, tap house. We which really were cheeky because we found out that it's just considered basically like pure degenerate behavior to sit around all day drinking.
Yeah. Clearly a recognition of being chronically unemployed.
Which, and how different is that from our modern world, I suppose? It's like, well, they sit there all day and drink. So I don't think they have jobs.
They clearly aren't working in the mines because they stayed up till 10 o'clock, which, I mean...
Yes, but the tap house owners love us because we keep them in business.
That's true.
A lot of the session was spent getting information from a local lord. I just realized I don't have my notes open, so all of this is
off the dome.
While I'm pulling them up, do you remember his name? It was
Dagnall Silverbeard.
Thank you, Dagnall Silverbeard. And Dagnall Silverbeard was a glorious gentleman. Really, actually, quite resplendent. We found out you do not want to break an oath with him, though, because he got real serious about that when someone didn't show up to a meeting, and that was treated as like betraying him. So, he likes people to be on time, which I understand. He would, and I think that he gave us a lot of good information, but not a ton of information. Like, I think the information he gave us was good, but he's sort of working with half a deck here, right? He doesn't know a ton of what's going on. He's heard a lot of rumors, and he's done research. He said he has an interest in the Delzoon Empire, but he doesn't really he's not live on the ground to tell us what's going on. We kind of have to report that back to him, really. Part of what we're doing probably is getting him some information he might be interested in. And he also pointed us in the right direction to basically find a first task to undertake. Instead of going straight to Mithril Hall, we are going to be going to a fun little place built by Durgadin the Vengeful, by the name of Kundrakar, or Kundrakar, depending on, I don't know, whether you're like a NCR or Caesar's Legion folk.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Kundrakar is it's in the Fell Pass. It's near here, but we do not know where in the Fell Pass it is. And you didn't explicitly mention this, Putty, and I just kind of filled this in, but I should check. I imagine part of the problem here is that, like, right, I'm more familiar with like Tolkien than Forgotten Realms dwarves, but like in my experience, it all runs from the same fountain. I'm assuming dwarven fortresses are very well concealed, like their doors and their entryways might even be magically concealed, or at the very least, like well camouflaged, so that if you don't know what you're looking for, you could walk right past it and not see it. Right? Is that the idea?
Yeah, absolutely. Even dwarf holds that are really well integrated internationally like Mithril Hall, they would have these sort of sister settlements at the edge of the mountains, and sort of that's where the international meetings would take place. And even if you were visiting, they would like meet you there and then make sure they were taking you in a way that you probably didn't really understand where you were going and things like that. I don't think they'd go as far as to put a bag over your head while you're running or anything like that, but they would definitely try and conceal the pathways into the main hall.
A bag over your head. Yes, that makes sense. And so it's part of the dwarven culture to be kind of, to be sneaky and conceal such things. So
I think to some degree that's part of the human culture too. If you've got a village out in the woods, you don't want you do things to try and make sure people don't come across it accidentally.
Oh, sure. I mean, especially if you built it in the woods, you don't. I mean, that's already shady. What are you doing in the woods?
There's wood here, and game and berries, and wood's a source of very important resources. To be fair,
I'm very suspicious of anyone that lives in the woods.
Of course, you live in a mining city, so people should build their cities near the mountains. That's where the real resources
or
are.
you should, if you're a human, you should build it on the plains and send us your grain.
Now you're thinking like a Delzoon dwarf. Thinking like a Delzoon dwarf. Yeah.
I mean, that's all they're good for. I mean, they can't. They're not very good at fighting. They're not very good at mining. They're shit at building. Have you seen their buildings? They're made out of straw and wood. What the fuck? Anyway, as I said, I live and breathe dwarves. There is no race in any fantasy world that I more understand. Like I just get the way they think. I've always struggled with elves.
Yes,
elves are kind of like aliens, and I have like
I like
trouble
that about elves. I like that.
I like that.
Yeah.
But
my players hate my elves. My players absolutely despise my elves.
It makes it hard to role play an alien, right? Like you have to truly inhabit the role and think like, how do I think about this? You kind of have to move beyond like our morality and our ways of thinking about things. Whereas dwarves
scale as well. I always think of elves as thinking of humans. If they like humans, they think of them like pets.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whereas I think of dwarves as like all of medieval history compressed. Like they're just really thick with history. They're really they're really thick with prejudice and all these sorts of things.
And they're really adapted to what they do, I think, as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I do like, right, just to remind everyone, we're coming from Mirabar, and Mirabar seems, I mean, the impression I've gotten is that it's a very unique culture.
Yeah.
It's this blending of dwarf and human, and it has some dwarven aspects, but it's also very like the dwarves there think, well, no, we should get involved in the world, and we should trade, and we should maybe even travel occasionally, and we should welcome people in if they'll help us, if they'll contribute to our society. We shouldn't keep them out, and I think that's a cool, unique take on. So obviously, because of that, Admand is in some ways not going to be a typical dwarf. He's a Mirabaran dwarf, and they're very different, right? Is that the idea?
Yeah, for sure. I think dwarves from various places have different ways of looking at things, but I do think Mirabar. I think Mirabar is a unique circumstances because in a lot of ways, sort of the way it is now was built by humans, and then dwarves realized they saw something in Mirabar. They saw a kinship or a home that they could build alongside the humans, and that dwarven community grew out of that, which I think is quite a unique backstory for those dwarves.
Yes, I like it a lot. And so we came from Mirabar with basically the goal to find one Ulrich, who knows the location of Kundrakar. We find out that he is he's either dead or like in a bad way. And we find the caravan that he was a part of on the trail, on the Lancers Trail to Kellamvor Point. He's not there. There's a few dead bodies. We find out that there is a group of bandits called Bramara's bandits that have likely attacked the caravan and most likely have taken Ulrich and others captive in the plans to ransom them back to, I don't know, their families or their or perhaps just like officials in Mirabar. I don't know who they're ransoming them to. Probably families, I'd imagine. Uh, and our goal currently, after we reported this to, oh, I don't know if, oh, I didn't write, I'll have to write his name down, but I remember it. We reported it to Brock, an old friend of mine who's a higher up, probably a guard captain of some sort. And he, in the Axe of Mirabar, and he basically said, look, we're kind of pressed thin right now. I got a lot on my plate. But if you could just go in there and, like, wipe this bandit company out, and also bring her back, either dead or alive, more money if you keep her alive, then that would be great. And of course I accepted because, well, we kind of have to do that anyway. We have to somehow. We could, of course, just pay for Ulrich, but now there's even more motivation to fight the bandits because I can kill two birds with one stone. I can get Ulrich, and I can get some money, and possibly there'll be resources that I can loot from the bandits. Right, once they're all dead, their things are mine. So, it sounds like a good idea, but I think we heard there are like 10 bandits, something like that. 12.
12, I think, was the estimate you were given, yeah.
12. That's a lot. But as I shared last time, I have some simple ideas for now, and then maybe they'll get more convoluted. I've noticed something in my players that I'm trying to not do as a player. And I don't know if you noticed this in your players. I've noticed my players will come up with extremely complex plans before they have any information. Like they will get like galactic brain level 40 chess plans where they're like, well, we'll capture this person and we'll set up a sting operation. We'll buy the drugs so that we can fake the murder, and like it'll get really intense. And I'm like, you guys don't even know.
You've never been, you have no idea. This is a very common gameplay pattern I find in D&D, where you'll spend half the session planning without any information, and then you'll start the plan, the information will come, and you'll just be working off the fly anyway. But there's a I can't remember, it's a general, I think. There's a quote from I think an American Civil War general that's like,
Patton.
Yeah, no plan survives contact with the enemy, but no moment of planning is wasted, or something like that.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was World War II.
Oh, okay.
He was a World War. It was either Patton or Eisenhower, but I think it was Patton. The most famous quote from a Civil War general is "War is hell" by the General Sherman, who burned his way through Georgia. Anyway. And in many ways, he's heralded as one of the early adopters of total warfare, where one wages war not just on an army, but a country and its populace.
And I think total warfare also encompasses the opposite thing as well, where you not just your army fights, but you get everybody in the country working towards the war effort.
The entire war becomes the gross domestic product.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean that's all World War II was, like the exemplar, right? I mean, in many ways, the height of total war. That is like total war times a million. Anyway, so enough about Putty and I will just start talking about history randomly because we both love history. But so I think that what my goal is going forward in all of the games I play, whether it's one shots or whatever, is like just keep the plans simple. Go in, then find some stuff out, and then maybe you can make the plan a little more complex. But for now, the simple plan is I want to stake the place out and maybe see if I can kill some of them while the others are away. A simple plan. Doesn't involve any disguises.
No
Yet.
Stings, drug purchases. Right. Well,
we're not impersonating someone's sister-in-law.
Yet. We'll keep that as an option. We will start this week then with a new piece of information. As we left off last session, you were heading up through the forest. You had found this stream, which I think you were told that the bandits' base of operations was at the end of a stream in a cavern. But as you travel through this kind of forest stream, eventually you come across something shocking.
Oh.
You find, lying in the stream, 3 dead armored bodies.
Okay, and was this the stream that we were told kind of leads near to where their hideout is?
That is correct, yes.
Yes. And do we have any estimate on how close we are to the hideout when we see these bodies?
You can see some rocky hills in the distance, maybe less than an hour away. So
and it's probably up there.
If a cave was probably in these hills.
Okay. Oh. Wait, I love this. This is Phoenix Wright music.
It is, yeah.
I've been slowly playing through Phoenix Wright, by the way.
Oh, I love those games. Which one are you on?
Still the first one, because they
take a while. They do.
I sort of I'll play it and then do something else and come back to it. It's which I probably shouldn't do because the stories all interconnect. But it is fun. And anyway, I know it's one of your all-time greats. It's a Matsudairo channel favorite.
It is, I don't think I ever did a full playthrough on those games because
you must have done videos on them.
Right? I did try. I tried, but I don't think I ever finished one because of how long they are and how they're a difficult series. Because if you want to do the voice acting for it all, it takes a lot out of you.
Yeah, I think if you were ever to do it, if you were ever to seriously consider doing it again, I think the way to do it is to get people involved.
Yeah, for sure.
Cast people and make it just a funny, everyone's together and just voicing different characters, and I think that could be interesting.
It would be really fun, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that
Are you playing on PC? Are you playing the remastered version on Steam?
No, it's on the Xbox. I'm playing they just released the entire trilogy.
But it must be the remastered.
It probably is the
version,
remastered.
Yeah.
Is remastered good, or should I go for the old?
I don't know. It looks good. It looks pretty when I see screenshots from it.
Yeah, it looks pretty. It looks prettier than I thought it should have. So that's why. Yeah, that makes sense that it's remastered. Yeah. I was like, this is a pretty old game. I'm surprised it looks so good. Yeah, and wasn't it? What console was it originally on?
Game Boy Advance.
Game Boy Advance.
Yep.
Yeah, there you
go. There are some games that made it onto the DS and the 3DS. My favorite one is the first one on the 3DS.
Okay, nice. All right, so we go into the ravine, and we begin to. Once again, I'm very worried about traps, so I would like to have. I'll default to I'll have. I mean, actually, how do you feel about multiple people making perception checks? Because I know sometimes that's kind of annoying.
Yeah, I don't love it because it's basically free advantage or super. So I would prefer it if we keep it to a minimum. Where it makes sense, though, I'll allow it.
Okay. Well, in this case, then I will. In these sorts of cases where we're not in a dungeon, in dungeons, Admand is always going to be at the front in case there's a trap. In this sort of case, I will have, since we're in the wilds, Kratz at the front, and I'll have him make the perception check. So here we go. 16, not bad.
So what is he looking for? He's looking for any signs that this is an ambush or a trap of some kind.
Yes, that it's either an ambush or that the bodies have been... I'm being super paranoid, but I keep imagining this. I have this image in my head of the bodies are rigged with. I don't know what they would be rigged with, because I mean in the modern world they'd be rigged with mines or explosives, but I don't know, something there's some tripwire that will magic or maybe there's some tripwire that will activate an arrow to shoot out of something. I don't know. Yeah. So I'll just have him look for any sort of trickery, ambushes, traps, or anything like that.
Okay, yeah, he will look sort of to the trees as well, because you're in the middle of quite a forested area. Just kind of squint his eyes and take a look to see if anybody's hiding and wait, and then he'll move forward. He has a javelin, right?
He does.
Yeah, he can maybe poke the bodies a little bit with the javelin. They float, because they're in the river, so they float a little bit, but then they get caught on the bank.
Oh, okay. Again. They're kind of in the water. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Seems even less likely they'd be trapped than...
he turns to you and just gives you a nod, as if to say the coast seems clear.
All right. Imagine the trap on that, like a floating trap. So I move down into the ravine, and I immediately, actually, I'll have Kratz help. We'll start pulling the bodies onto the shore so they're not just like floating around, and then I will immediately check to see if any of them are breathing or alive.
They all three appear to be dead. They have cut marks and crossbow bolts in them, and all three of them are also wearing the pin of the Thunderstar Company.
I see. I will collect those pins again.
Yep.
And I will search them to see if they have any any signs of anything they had on them. Are they armed? Did it look like they defended themselves?
They have sheaths and little bits on their belt you can see were originally used probably to tie weapons, but the weapons are nowhere to be found.
Is there any way to tell, like, if they died with a struggle or whether they were executed? Like,
they have a number of cut wounds and crossbow bolts in them.
Yeah, I mean, I that could mean a struggle. It could, but also, how do you get that many? It could just be that. Well, actually, I think the mix. I'm going to assume that it was a fight, because I think the mix of crossbow bolts and, because I think if you were going to execute them, you'd either like stab them once or you'd shoot them, but you wouldn't do both. That would be weird. So I will assume that it's been a fight, and then Admand announces it's like they must have fought back against their captives or captors. I don't know what else to say. Oh,
Dorian would say it seems odd that they are so far from the rest.
The rest, as in the other two we found?
Yes. Perhaps they gave chase.
Oh. Interesting theory, Dorian. I hadn't even thought of that. As in, you think the Thunderstar men, these men weren't captured, chased after the bandits, and were killed.
Perhaps. Didn't the Thunderstar representative, didn't they say they sent 6?
Mm-hmm. 6, yes. And I assumed some of them would be captured, but it seems like now there's only one left that we don't know of the fate of. So yes, it could be that they... This is even stranger then. This means that... This might mean that they attacked the caravan. This is very strange, because this means that they attacked the caravan, successfully made off with the goods, ran away, but then were chased. Which, how is it possible that the 3 guards couldn't prevent them from taking the goods, but were alive and healthy enough to give chase? That is... They could have been... It could have been the caravan was taking a moment's break, like they were resting, filling up canteens or something. Maybe some of the guards went off to take a leak, and then next thing you know, they get attacked.
Perhaps
I don't
the
know.
bandits waited for such an opportunity.
Yes, it could be. After all, it would be difficult to take on 6 fully armed and prepared mercenaries, but just having to fight a couple while the others were resting or using the latrines, this could make sense. And then perhaps they get back from the latrines. All right, this is enough information. I've got a 37-step plan that involves... No, I just...
Istra says, if you have the patience, waiting for your enemy to be at their weakest is the optimal course of action.
I agree entirely, Istria. Well, when you're dealing with honorable folks... Maybe not, but these folks have no honor, and I think we should use their strategies against them. In this case, if they... Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing the guards have probably been stripped of anything valuable then, if the bandits killed them.
Except their armor. They have studded leather armor in poor repair that you could, I suppose, get off of them, clean of the blood, stitch up, and sell.
Not worth it for the weight.
Yeah.
I'm playing by Fallout New Vegas rules.
Yeah,
It's got to gotta have a
Value
good
per
cap
weight. Yeah,
cap
for
weight
sure.
ratio.
With the encumbrance rules, and you're wearing heavy armor, right? So I mean,
I'm
you
wearing
have
heavy
to.
armor. Which is literally why one of the first things I'm going to buy on our quest, because I think I have the money for it now, is a mule. Like, I really want to get a pack mule. But yeah, so we are going to continue on. I think leave the bodies. Perhaps I don't know. Are any of us religious? Admand. I mean, actually, this is a moment to like. What is the sort of how is religiosity work in the Forgotten Realms? Is it common for everyone to be religious? Would it be strange for anyone not to be, or like how's that work? And I guess in Mirabar in particular, I'm more interested in.
So more broadly in the north, before we zone in on Mirabar, especially for humans, it's a pantheon. It's a pantheon region. So religion is sort of seen as transactional, I suppose. You sort of pray to a god and engage in their rituals when you want something from them. So, for example, most agricultural towns will have a temple or shrine to Shantea, the goddess of harvest. And every plant season, most of those people will go to a priest and perform certain rituals to bless their harvest and make sure it, happens cleanly. I'm going to switch the music here because the shock of seeing these corpses has, I think, at this point worn off.
Is this the music that plays when you find a dead body in Phoenix Wright?
I think it's just called Suspense. I think it is from the first game, and I think it happens whenever a shocking twist occurs in the.
Yes, when someone's like, objection.
No, well, that's a different. that's a
different. Oh, that's a different song. Okay.
More like Edgeworth reveals a report that you previously didn't know about.
Oh,
Phoenix
God,
looks
Edgeworth.
shocked.
He's such a dick.
Look, he's a sweetie, really. You just need to get to know him.
Yes. So, I think
I'm just gonna put on a bit more of a chill song. I'm trying to think here. Here we go. Yeah. This could work. Okay, it's not winter. This is called Winter Woods.
That's okay. We're in the woods.
We are in the woods.
Wouldn't it be awkward if there's just a voice that says, "It is the winter"? You just keep saying that.
It is winter. Do not pretend it is not winter.
Only a fool would try to trick you otherwise.
Yeah, so religion. People will go to Shantea when they need their harvest blessed. They might go to Lathander, the god of dawn, basically sunrise and rebirth, to bless their upcoming childbirth. Lots and lots of cities, especially, have churches and priesthoods to Kelimvor, because these organizations are often entrusted with funeral rites, looking after graveyards and things like that, making sure that the dead are buried, are able to pass on to the next life, and do not come back, which is a concern in some cities, especially over the years. So things like that. There's a pantheon of gods, all with their own domains. If you are sailing, you might pray to the god of the seas and so forth. Dwarven gods it's another pantheon, but they are often they have their own domains, but they're sort of your ancestors, right? Your great grandfather has a certain domain that they have gained in the afterlife. And you pray to them to look over you and watch over you, much like you would your ancestors, with the exception of, I've forgotten the name, so let me just find it. There is one dwarven god who is considered the creator of dwarf kind. I've got it. Just needs to load.
Moradin. Okay. Yes, that name has come up before.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So I think then, I should maybe I'll at some point look into some of these dwarf gods, but Yeah, I think we say a few words, probably, just to, some sort of thing you see, memorial and shepherd them to the next world, and then we're off. We're off to the next place. We start pursuing. Not in. Oh! Look at this, a little sheet.
Yeah, for whenever you want to have a quick look.
Abathor.
So now some of these, it's worth mentioning, aren't in my current version of the world because gods change, they shift. They die sometimes, very rarely, but they can die. They can be killed. But that mainly applies to the human pantheon, which, as many things human, it is more chaotic and more open to change. The dwarven pantheon is mostly static, or changes very, very slowly. Okay. Yes. Any other questions you had on religion, or is that good?
I think that, yeah, I'll look through this occasionally, but yeah, I think that's it for now. And we're going to start heading into those hills. And I think at a certain point, once we get, I don't know, maybe in about 5 or 10 minutes or 20 minutes of travel, once we start to get really close to the hills, we might start to slow down a little bit and stealth. Just, I mean, there's not really I don't think there's a mechanical way to do this. We're not literally like crawling and, but we're going to be quiet. I'm going to make sure no one yells. We're going to attempt not to break large branches or, make any undue noise. We're going to start moving a little slower, a little more cautiously once we get into the hills. Since, guards could be around, spotters could be around.
Absolutely. Okay, why don't you have everybody in the group make me a stealth check? For those who aren't proficient, you can just click on Dex.
Opening all the characters at once was not a good idea.
There is a button in the top
did not.
left you can use to pop it out, and then if you right click on the top of it, you can show as tab, so you can get all of them in a little window, all as tabs, which might be useful for you.
Oh, like pop it out, make it tabs in my browser? Oh, okay.
So if you pop it out, first of all, and then if you right click on the very top part of the window, there's an option to show as tab, and then it just turns it into a regular Chrome tab, or Firefox tab in your case, that you can then have a single window with all of the character sheets in different tabs, if that would be useful.
Oh, I don't know if this is a function on Firefox. Maybe I'll have to get Chrome working again. Yeah. It allows me to pop them out, but there is no show as tab, so I'll have to get Roll20 or anyway, for now I'll just do it. It's fine. So this is Dex on Kratz.
Is Kratz not proficient in stealth?
Doesn't say he is.
Okay.
Dex on Dorian.
Good.
Oh. Stealth on Istria. Oh, come on, Istria. And here we go. Oh, fuck. Heavy R. Oh, shit. That's right. Shit. Just chung, 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 chung.
Okay, well...
No, I don't want any of you making any noise. You're going to embarrass me. And then... chung, 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 chung.
Hey, you didn't roll the worst, though. That's the rogue. So, you continue up the stream until eventually you do see the stream flowing out of a cave mouth. However, as you sort of notice that, from a group of trees to the right of the cave mouth, you hear a voice call out, a male voice, saying, "Hey there, you! Stop right there. What is your business here?"
Admand freezes and he's like, fuck. Can I see someone?
No, the trees aren't that thick. You can see maybe like a little flash of skin through the tree branches, through the tree trunks. You can't quite. Clearly, there is a figure of some sort on the other side of the trees, a little on a raised, a little bit elevated from where you are.
Admand responds, just traveling.
Turn around, then. Head back in the other direction.
What was that? I can't hear you. And I start motioning for us to start moving a little closer.
Okay. I said stop right there.
When we get a little closer, can we see him?
First of all, I think Dorian, if he wishes, I'll let you make this decision.
Dorian is not spotted.
Yeah, he could probably start kind of making some distance and trying to get closer to these people if you wanted him to.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, do you think he would do that?
That's a good question. I mean, I think that he probably would take it if he is at all aware that he's like being pretty sneaky right now, which, you know, how aware is someone of something like that? I have a feeling that he would not want to walk brashly up to them, and might, now that Admand is like being very brash, might immediately instinctually start to distance himself away so that he can
so maybe get in an advantageous position, but not one necessarily that's too close to them.
Well, I don't think he'd leave the cover of the trees just yet.
Okay.
So he might. I'm imagining, right, if there's a circle of trees around a cave or something like that, and we start walking up, he starts walking to the side, to another part of the trees, but not necessarily farther away from the. If that makes sense, he rounds around.
So you make it so the voice is coming from the other side of the stream. Something I perhaps should mention. So you make it right up to the edge of the stream, and why don't you roll me a perception check? And I will let you. I'll let you Kratz and Istria roll, but obviously if somebody else succeeds, then you won't necessarily get this information. So I guess just you roll for now. Okay. Yeah, you can see them. They're two. You notice there are two men with crossbows trained on you, wearing leather armor on the other side of these trees. You can see there's a little bit of a clearing on the other side of these trees that they've put like wooden planks down in order to have a little bit of a lookout spot.
What's our distance from them?
They're across the stream from you, about 20 feet. 25 feet.
20 feet?
Mm-hmm.
That's not bad.
There is, a line of trees and a stream in the way, though.
Difficult terrain, you might say.
Yes, perhaps. The trees look like they might take some arduous climbing, because remember, there's a little bit of a steep elevation up to where they are.
You have to climb.
You don't climb the trees. You would climb the hill through.
But like you might have to use the trees to hold on to, or something like that.
The trees might actually make it easier to climb in that case. Yeah, that's a good
okay.
point. Although there's a lot of underbrush and shrubbery.
I thought you were saying that the hill was so steep we had to climb up a tree
and then jump off.
and now I'm just imagining Dorian, without being told, instinctually needs to climb up a tree.
But no, it might take a feat of athletics to even make progress up this steep hill.
Oh, wow. Does there seem like... I mean, this is a lot of information in a short time, so you can say no, but does it seem like there's a path or anything? Or is it just steep hill and then...
I think it's fair to say that you would have noticed that towards the cave mouth, there is clearly a path around to this lookout where they are.
Okay. To my left or to my right?
Well, so they're on your right. It's sort of in front of you.
Sort of in front of me. So there would be a way to get to a kind of path, but it's not.
I think I might be able to show you this now. I think,
cool. Yeah.
I think it's reasonable that I'm gonna. I think I'll do this. Yeah, that seems like it'll work. So they're behind these trees here. But actually, you might not be able to see that. You should be able to. You can see this, right?
There's darkness, so I can't see the tokens. I can see the edge of a token.
Can you see my arrow?
I can see your arrow. Yeah. So I can see where it's pointing.
So that's where they are. That's where the voice is coming from. And that's where the two men are.
Look at Dorian, just hidden. I'm a fan of. I actually enjoy quite a bit the art that I was able to pick out for these guys. I think it all fits their personalities, but I something about Dorian's is very friendly looking. Anyway, and Kratz looks like a Fallout 1 or 2 character. Like he looks like a character from an old PC game where it's.
Before you even showed me that picture, I used him in a previous campaign as my Orc Archer token, and he very much fits the bill of Orc Archer.
Yes, I love it. It's hard to find Orc Archers.
It is.
And it's in general hard to find orcs. I know you probably are less averse to this because you like that. You love that. You're in that world. But a lot of the orc art I find is heavily inspired by the World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
And the
really
Warcraft
green.
orcs are very different than I imagine fantasy orcs are normally. Right? They're a very particular and there's nothing wrong with that, but their art style dominates the online orc space.
Well, it's not, I think, to be fair, I don't think it's just Warcraft. I think Warhammer orcs are similar.
Warhammer as well. But these giant, bulky, like machine men, where they're like, they're twice as tall as a human, and they're they're like the Big Show, but an orc. How's the Big Show doing? Is he still around?
Yeah, he's working for the other company now. There's a new.
He's
challenger.
not retired?
I think he is. I don't think he wrestles anymore, but he's still like an on-screen person.
He does promos. Yeah. I mean, it's all.
I don't know if this was a fever dream, but I think it's true. He did a sitcom called The Big Show House. I think that's true. That surely wasn't a fever dream. Hold on. Big Show.
That sounds like something worth watching.
Or maybe it was called The Big Show Show.
The Big Show.
This was a real thing. Hold on, let me send you a quick some quick proof that this exists. There you go. It's The Big Show Show.
What the fuck? Well, I have to look into that. From my understanding is The Big Show plays D&D, by the way.
Wow, that's cool. I bet he would be really good at that. He's a really good actor. He does.
Do you know Joe Manganiello? You know that guy?
Yes, he's into D&D. Yeah.
Yeah. So I watched there was this. I don't know why. I just watched this video where this company that makes fancy tables made a table for him.
Oh yeah. Yes. I think I've seen that.
And he was saying in it that The Big Show plays in his
D&D
home game. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. He was also saying that's one of the reasons why he needs a big table, because he has a bunch of large men, including the Big Show playing with him. And I'm like, that makes sense. If you had the Big Show at your table, you pretty much need just a table just for the Big Show.
Yeah.
You need probably a specially designed chair for him too. He's larger than life. Anyway, I don't actually know. I'm not seeing him in person, but the way they make him look on the television,
he's huge. He's really
he's
big.
huge, right?
Yeah,
he's mad. Yeah. So yeah, is this the path you were mentioning? This right here?
Yes, yeah. That's, you think that? I mean, you can see from the map. I think that
looks like a gentler slope.
Yeah. And it's not filled with underbrush. Is the main.
It's not filled with underbrush, and it's meant as a path. Now, what is this? What does that look like? That's a cave
mouth. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. And the voices we're hearing aren't coming from the cave mouth; they're coming from. This is an interesting little map setup.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is official. This is an official map, baby. This is
true.
I recognize that art style. This is
quite an iconic map as well. I don't know if you'll recognize it at some point. Yeah. Repurposed.
Is it from Fandelver or
maybe if we get through it today, maybe
you'll tell me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to decide whether we just do it now, charge in, and start going nuts, or whether we pull back and let Dorian spy on them. but that requires Dorian to keep his fucking cool.
How old is Dorian? I think no, you know this because it was in your
I
document.
definitely
Yeah,
I wrote it down. Yeah, he is. I picked ages for all of them, and I did finally pick an age for Admand as well. So Dorian is 7 billion years old. Dorian is the youngest, and he is just. Wait, where does? Oh. Huh. It actually doesn't say that in his bio, but I thought I picked.
Yeah, it was on the header row of your document.
Oh, the hetero. Okay,
Yeah.
let me check. But I think he's really young. I think he's like the youngest actually by age is Kratz, but Kratz is a half orc, which means that they would mature more quickly. I brought that assumption in, but
Dorian is 27.
27. Okay, so that's actually not wildly young. He's got that is my age. How old are you now? Are you 27?
I'm 26. I'll be 27 next
26.
month.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but he's quite a sheltered. Dorian's quite sheltered in the context of this world, right? So yeah,
well, quite like I would be if you sent me into a war zone. Like I would be. I basically am Dorian.
There we go. You should just play Dorian.
I'll just be Dorian, and Admand can run on autopilot. So it would require Dorian to keep his cool. I think in that case, I'm just going to go with it. I think it's more valuable to get some information. I do think we're going to take some hits. It's going to take us probably a whole round to get up there. Now, Kratz can lay down suppressing fire. Suppressing fire! Kratz can lay down some shots, but it
and he just because I think Kratz would be aware of this because of the elevation. You guys would only have half cover, and they would have 3/4 cover.
Yeah. It would be very difficult shots then, and all the trees as well. I'm sure add to that. So, I think in that case, I'll say, sorry, I didn't mean to walk into anything. We'll take another way around. My apologies.
I'm gonna have them make a quick roll to see if they think you have money.
So maybe this will be decided by them. I'm totally fine with that if they end up attacking us. Good on them.
They've got spirit.
They've got spirit. We'll cut them down nonetheless.
No, that's not a particularly good roll. I think that they are not a particularly confident pair. This isn't like they aren't leaders or captains.
They didn't send their best.
Yeah, these are just the guys on watch today. They're not brave. And you don't, even though you've got heavy armor, which usually implies some level of wealth, it is just chainmail, and it's probably not that clean, right? It's old maybe.
It's not filthy.
No, I mean, is it resplendent? Do you keep it well polished? Maybe they could get advantage on.
Well, I guess this is an answer. This is something you can answer. What did the members of the Axe wear? My assumption was that they would not have let me keep something as valuable as chainmail, and so my assumption is that this is something I invested in when I became a mercenary.
That the assumption that you needed to buy new armor when you left the Axe is a good one. I think in terms of what they wear, it very much it'll depend on person to person. They probably give you, like, day one on the Axe, they probably give you a chain shirt. That's probably the start of, here's what you get. And then as you go up in the ranks, depending, a lot of people will probably invest in their own armor a little bit. Or
the captains get +3 chainmail, or +3 plate mail.
Or there's like probably a scheme to, the watch will pay half of a new set of armor or something like that. I think a lot of people higher up in the watch who like heavy armor would probably wear splint. I think that makes sense. I think half plate among the officers is probably pretty common, especially the dwarven ones. And then some people will just prefer studded leather with, and the thing that differentiates the axe isn't. They don't wear a uniform. There's no way to keep uniform armors, but they'll all have these purple cloaks.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think then that this is probably armor that was bought in the last 3 years. It's probably seen somewhere. It's not. I don't think it looks garbage, but I also don't. It would not look fancy. It certainly would not look gilded. It would not have any filigree. It's built. It's good, but it's built for war.
Gotcha. Then yeah, no, I think they let you retreat if that's what.
All right. And we just and I sort of as I turn away, right? I turn away so that they can't see my face, and I kind of like I do this kind of like over in Dorian's like you know what to do. I don't know if he knows what to do.
We'll see.
And then we're gonna leave.
Okay. I think Dorian's definitely gonna stick around. I think I can delete these tokens.
Probably just shocked in fear. He's probably like I imagine part of him doesn't want to move a muscle just to not reveal. He's like,
do you have vision through Dorian's token? Can you still see?
I do.
Good. I'm actually going to cut off this little piece of what is it called? This little piece of scenery here. Yeah. There we go. Make this. This should work. Oh,
whoa!
That did more than. Oh, I know why.
That made it way worse. I can't see shit now.
It's because the sun is on that side of the line. That is fixed. Everything, presumably.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's better. All right. Yeah. So Dorian is in the bushes, crouching, presumably.
The wizard has successfully stealthed and is now scouting out the enemy camp.
Yeah. So for those two men will have a conversation after you guys have left. So why don't you have Dorian make me a perception check, because he's not close enough. I think he's going to need to strain his hearing to make out a casual conversation, especially with the stream. That's good enough, though. I think this isn't a particularly difficult check. So one of them says to the other, "Seemed strange. They were well equipped for this region to just be traveling." "Yes, but these woods are dangerous. Most people who come through here probably have weapons and armor."
They're dangerous because of you guys, Dorian thinks.
You think they could have had anything valuable on them? Possibly, but not worth the fight. Fair enough. And then Dorian will hear the rolling of dice.
Oh shit! There's just a guy in the woods next to him, like, "Hey kid, you want to play dice? You want to gamble?"
For the next 10 minutes, they just curse each other for their poor or good luck. Occasionally, there are lulls in the conversation.
Oh, they're rolling dice. Okay. I thought you meant you were rolling dice to decide
Dorian
something.
Genuinely hears
he
the
hears
rolling
dice. Okay.
Yeah. So 10 minutes have passed. He heard that conversation, and they're rolling dice.
I mean, are you just letting me control Dorian?
Yep.
All right.
I think so.
Okay, magic missile. No, random. What was that? I think that Dorian is going to, he's just going to try to, like, get a little closer, if you'll allow it.
That movement was fine. Yeah.
And try to, because he's still in the bush, he's just trying to, he's trying his hardest to peer into that cave. Can he see anything?
Ooh, okay.
On the map, I can't really, so you could just say no. But obviously, he can kind of, he can move his head out a little bit. He can, So is he able to maybe see anything if he kind of leers out? He's not gonna like stick his head fully out of the trees, though. He's gonna try to stay in cover.
Maybe another perception check.
God, can you imagine how many bugs he's got on him right now?
Oh,
I never think about that when I'm playing these, but yeah,
that's a good point.
Spiders. All All right.
Great, you've ruined D&D for me now.
Oh no!
I'm kidding. Although I probably told you this story before, but somebody gave me a Metro game for my birthday about 10 years ago, and I liked it, but I couldn't finish it because the spiders were too realistic in the vents.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, in like Metro, the Metro
The
Last
shooter.
Light, those games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a year. It was Metro, and then there was a year after it. It was one of those yeared.
Okay. Yeah.
Like 2044 or whatever it was.
Yeah, those are freaky games. Those are also really I found them very challenging. The shooting.
That's what I heard.
Like,
Yeah. I really
pretty
enjoyed the gameplay and the story.
They're good.
The spiders, I was just like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, it's rough. I don't know if you ever found this. Did you ever play Half-Life? Like
No,
one or
I
two
didn't.
or
No,
any?
I haven't.
Well, a lot of people that have spider phobias or arachnophobias do not like the head crabs for similar reason. They're very spidery and they they jump on your head and stuff.
I can't remember when they're doing this, but they're working in WoW. They're working on a setting you can tick that replaces all the spiders with crabs. Ironically, yeah.
That's fun. I know in Grounded, the game where it's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. There's a lot of spiders in that game, but there's a setting that just turns them into amorphous blobs for people that have phobias. So I mean,
There's a mod for Skyrim that turns all the spiders into Spider-Man.
oh, that's fun. Here you go. Ah,
Much
shit.
more freaky. Dorian can't get a glimpse any further into the cave than you can see on the map, and the stream is too loud for him to pick up really anything from the cave itself. He can feel bugs on him, and maybe even taste them.
What the?
I'm just going through all the senses.
He's delicious.
You can smell
All right.
fresh forest air.
Maybe even taste them.
Maybe even taste it.
Okay. I have a theory that it's a hope and it's a prayer that the guards out here, if they are attacked, that unless they make an enormous amount of noise, the people inside the cave might not be able to hear them because of the water, because of the acoustics. It might be that the whole reason they have to have guards out here is because inside the cave you can't see shit. And so you have to have guards positioned on this ridge to be able to see anything, but that is a weakness we can exploit because they're kind of split off from the rest of their group. So Dorian is going to report this back to... He's going to try to slowly, and I mean slowly. Like, slower than I'm moving him, but like he's going to creep back through the brush until he's confident that he's out of hearing distance, and then he will start to walk slowly back to the group.
Okay. Yep, you can do so.
Okay. Boop. Oh god. This was a mistake. When Dorian gets back to the group, he will report everything that he saw, and he'll report my theories that the guards might be in a position that we can exploit. If we can cut them off from the cave to where they can't run in, then we might be able to kill them quickly. My thought is, even if people inside the cave hear, that's another weakness we can exploit. Because if they come running out, they're going to be bunched up. They're not going to be able to position... It's going to be bottlenecked. So I actually think that it might be advantageous to just do this, right? And there's only 2 guards now. There could be more later. This might be the best time to do it. Then again, we could wait until nightfall, but I doubt they're going to fall asleep. They probably position guards there around the clock. I mean, that would be pretty incompetent if they don't. Oh, man. Then again, if it's dark, everyone except Admand won't be able to see. We're going to do it during the night. We're going to do it during the day, I mean. Because none of my other characters have dark vision. And they will I kind of regret not making the rogue a dwarf as well now, because like it's actually rogues without dark vision face I think a pretty severe challenge. They have to be able to sneak in dark spaces without being able to see, and if they light a torch, everyone will see them.
However,
I don't know.
mean, if other people have lit torches, they're...
That's it. Yes. So that's obviously. I think I'm thinking of cases where they're in just a completely dark dungeon or something like that. But we can figure it out. I'm hoping that at some point maybe we can find I don't know. I know there's dark vision items, goggles, and things like that. Maybe we can find something. Anyway, so Dorian is going to relay all this, and I think Admand is going to make the call that we are going to try to get as close as possible, and this time we're going to specifically move on this side. We're going to keep to the left side so that when we are eventually in combat, we can run to cut them off. That's my hope. And then we can start doing work on them. And I think we're going to try to stealth as close as we can again. These dudes are playing dice, They might be distracted. Who knows?
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
That's true. I mean,
it is weird that they, after just spotting someone, they're like, fuck it. And they just immediately start playing dice. Not the brightest bunch. All right, so...
They had a conversation about it.
They did have a conversation.
They processed it.
They processed it. They're like, it's probably fine.
It's probably nothing. Must have been nothing.
Must have been the wind. they convinced themselves they didn't even see anyone. Was there even someone here? I don't know.
Okay, so you're stealthing on this left side-ish. You're trying to creep up like Dorian did.
Yes, and mainly even if we get spotted, that way we're in a position where we can charge for that path.
Gotcha. Roll me stealth checks for everyone again.
Yep. Okay, I'm going to start with the worst one.
It's better. They are playing dice.
Better. Kratz rolled better.
That's good.
Dorian is fucking really stealthy.
He's so sneaky.
Okay, Istria, you have a +5 to stealth.
Can you start acting like it?
Yeah, that's not too bad.
That's better. Okay. You have successfully snuck up on these individuals.
I am into it. Okay. Oh, wait. Could I position Admand where Kratz is?
Yeah, you did say Kratz was leading in the wilderness, but I'm fine to have swapped that for this.
I think in this case, Admand wants to be at the front because he's going to have to charge up the hill. And also, he just has the lowest amount of movement, so for practical reasons. I also will say that Admand is going to leave his bag in this bush.
Yep.
He's going to leave his pack in the bushes.
Cool.
And he is going to begin the process of charging. Let's see. Do we just do it? Do you allow players to prepare actions before combat?
I'm going to say no generally, but on this case you will get a surprise round if you roll initiative here.
Well, then we'll just do that. That's perfect. Let's roll initiative then.
Cool. Go ahead. And I think since you successfully snuck up on them, I'm going to bust out the old Ednas motif.
Oh.
If you select a character token, in the top left you should have an initiative macro that you can just click, and it will roll initiative for you. Wow. Oh wait, that's me. I was like, wow, 21 initiative. But that's the bandit. Okay.
Well, it's good we got that surprise round. Because the bandits rolled well.
I haven't added dex tiebreakers to the character sheets yet, it looks like. But I'm going to assume the bandit has more dex than you. What is your dex?
Admand has -1. He's cool. Which is surprising that he rolled the best out of us. For that reason. But he's really into it.
Admand.
Okay. Admand Honak, son of Madog. Okay, can I know what counts as... Is it just the river that counts as difficult terrain?
Yes. Well, the tree line on this side will as well, but I assume you're not going through that.
But this would not. The path would not.
Indeed. Yeah. So on this case...
So we're basically talking 1 square of difficult terrain.
Yes. Entering difficult terrain costs extra movement. Leaving difficult terrain does not.
Good. Okay. Yes. Well, yeah, because, I mean, if you did both, then it'd be like double duty. And
indeed. You have to pick one. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. 5, 10. Oh, Admand.
Are you like Are you 5 feet away from being able to do what you want to do?
Wait, no, dwarves are 25.
25.
25. Okay, so no, I can do it. I can get there. And I'm going to have him get there.
All right. Yep.
So he is up on this guy in a flash.
He is playing dice. I think I'm going to make a roll real quick.
Doesn't even have a weapon. He's naked.
I think
afraid.
I think I'm going to consider him prone.
He's prone.
He's sitting down, which I'm going to call prone on this occasion. Yeah. And you're right, he doesn't have a weapon.
This is most unfortunate for you.
Ah, shit, I knew I should have killed you when I had the chance.
You think he's prone?
Yeah.
Okay, I am going to roll my Warhammer, and I think the macros are all loaded in, so I should just be able to click this. A 10.
Because he's prone, you have advantage, so go ahead and roll again.
Okay. 15 to hit.
15 will hit.
A kingly number. All right. And then I can click this to roll damage. 9 bludgeoning. Ow.
A brutal blow upon the bandit, winding him, sending him like almost rolling slightly down. Actually, no, he's on the wooden planks, right? So it's pretty even keel ground. But he drops the dice in his hand and it scatters onto the floor.
And I imagine Admand has this mischievous grin, like, and that is the end of Admand's turn.
All right, Kratz's turn.
Kratz, is there a position he could get to where he would have... Okay, first, is the cover situation right now the same as it was? He has half cover and they have 3/4?
That's correct.
If he was to move here, would the situation change?
So the way I do it is you can ask me at any time what the current cover situation is, but you're going to have to move to that square in order to get an answer.
Aha, okay. That's fair. Do you count allied bodies as adding to cover?
Good question. Yes, one ally in the way is half cover. More allies in the way is 3/4 cover. Or any creature. It doesn't have to be allies.
You don't have rules that like there's not a chance I'm going to hit an ally.
No.
Okay. That's a thing. That's a thing in DCC, so I always have to ask. So 5. I'm going to have a move here with the hopes that it's a more advantageous position.
Cool. So this would be half cover because of Admand.
Aha. And he has half cover too, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Oh, that's perfect. So it's a good. He has the same amount of cover and they have a little less cover, so that's a good move. And then he is going to shoot his bow.
Okay, it's going to be a disadvantage because he is prone.
Oh, they're both prone.
Yeah.
Shit.
And
maybe
you should have a toggle for advantage, disadvantage up at the top of the character sheet. Yeah.
All right. That's too bad. All right, let's hope I do get with this. Oh, for some reason I pulled up Admand. Sorry. Are they beasts?
No.
I think of them as beasts.
They have the humanoid tag, I'm afraid. An 18 will certainly hit.
That is a great roll. Oh my god, with disadvantage. 3 piercing.
3 piercing
and
damage.
He'll shoot at the guy that's already been hit.
All right. So he gets winded, he drops his dice, and then suddenly an arrow pierces into his shoulder.
And I think that I'm guessing that the damage is already worked in. Oh wait. No, yeah. Oh yeah. No, because the damage bonus it's the attack bonus to all rolls, and that's probably worked in according to what I'm saying.
Try to, yeah. So +2 for proficiency, +2 for agility, +2 for the bonus.
+2. Okay, perfect. Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
And oh man, dude, that. Oh, okay. That 23 was close to a crit, but it wasn't a crit. Okay. And I don't know if there's, so I was able to do the auto, like the crits on 19s on Admand. I don't know if there's a way to program Kratz's sheet to do that automatically, so we might just have to keep it.
It should already be programmed to do it. The only
downside, it's programmed to do it.
Yeah, it should work. The only downside is that Kratz will crit skill checks on a 19. Not that exists in 5e anyway. So we just, don't get too excited when you see green numbers on the skill checks.
I see green numbers.
Yeah.
I won't get excited.
But Kratz, yeah. I mean, critical, even on 20s, crit success skill checks don't exist. So it's not a big deal.
Not a big deal. Okay. That is the end of Kratz's turn.
Istria.
Yes. Istria has a more interesting turn. Need to decide.
I'll be the judge of that.
Oh. Well, I don't necessarily mean that the result will be more interesting. And now Istria has cunning action and helpful. Mm-hmm. Both very useful.
Although mutually exclusive.
Mutually, yeah. Well, of course she could, yeah. Mutually exclusive for that bonus.
She could help as an action. That's true, and she could do any of the cunning actions as actions. True. Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, but yes, they do kind of compete with each other to some extent. I think that she is going to try to take advantage of the fact that it's probably easier to hit them right now than it is to do anything else. And she is going to move and most likely need to dash as a cunning action. So let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 30, 35, 40, and we'll call it there. That's where Istria lands. Had to use a cunning action to dash, and then we'll make an attack with a dagger against the prone gentleman.
At advantage.
Yeah. Awesome. $24 to hit.
Well,
that would be a crit if Kratz or Admand made it.
Yeah.
4 piercing damage. I just imagine she just runs up just super fast. I mean, she has to move really quickly to do this, and then just leaps on him with the dagger and just.
All right, and she slays him. He is dead.
My God, this group is so brutal. I love it. I just
still have 20 feet of movement, I believe.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna kind of have her move back a little bit, just to make sure that the guy tries to attack Admand instead of her.
Good time to remind you, moving through allies is difficult terrain. Difficult terrain can't stack, and you cannot attack or end your turn in the same space as another creature.
Okay. Cool. I still think that's a legal move.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just reminding because now you've got a bit of a blockade on that
Yes.
entrance is all, so just in case. But also, just reminding you of various of
No,
my
no, yeah.
eclectic rulings.
I don't even.
Dorian.
Some of those I think are just.
Yeah,
by
I
the
think so
book.
too.
Yeah. Anyway. Dorian covers himself in glory. He says, "I will kill the last one."
Alone.
Alone. Single combat.
He pulls out his sword and lights it on fire.
We gotta get Dorian a ranged weapon.
He has a ranged weapon. It's a magic missile.
It's his only thing, though. Dorian, right now, for all intents and purposes. Oh wait!
He can throw his dagger.
He can cast magic missile 3 times. Right?
Yeah, 3 times per
Okay.
per long rest.
I
also gave him arcane recovery, so he's got.
I'm in like 2E brain, and in that you prepare specific
Each
spells
spell.
with your spell slots.
Yes.
So if you wanted to cast magic missile 3 times, you prepare 3 magic which
missiles.
I think is how it worked in like definitely in 2nd edition AD&D, and then maybe in 3.5 as well, I think. But anyway, I'm not sure about 3.5. I do know it's one of those rules that was worded weirdly in AD&D, and so a bunch of people played it like it is in 5e, even back in the 80s, because no one was sure how the rule was supposed to work.
I think that's where they come up with the idea that they've eventually used in 5e is the spell slots as a resource. Yeah,
because tables. I think back then just completely like the amount of homebrew was even higher than it is now. Everyone just
2nd edition is so homebrewed for sure.
Everyone just interpreted the rules how they would because they were so,
I like that Vancian sort of prepare each spell cast, but I don't think it works very well in 5e to have to try and bolt onto it. Unfortunately.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't change it for this, but it is to my advantage in this case because it would be difficult if I had to dedicate a spell slot to comprehend languages every day. Because who knows, we might not need it today. But it is nice to have that prepared because that could come in handy.
Worth mentioning that Dorian is not a ritual caster.
That's okay. So identify is not prepared. Yeah, and I cannot cast it ritually.
Unless he spends a long rest getting it prepared.
Cool. Good to know. But that's okay, because in most cases, if we have something we need to identify, we could just sit on it.
He does have the material component for all of the spells that are currently in his repertoire. So he has that pearl needed for identify.
Yeah. Oh, that's perfect.
Probably not on him. Probably leaves it at home in Mirabar, but he has it. And
the pearl does not get consumed.
No.
Yeah, cool. He is going to then cast, I will have him cast, I think it's important that we really smash these guys out of their balls. So I'm going to cast Magic Missile on the
even though we've talked about maybe being able to occasionally cast glimpses through the trees, you can't currently see him.
He can't see him.
No, so if you could move him, I'm sure it's possible to move him into a position where he can be
there.
Seen. Can you just draw a line between him and the guy for me? You're casting at Admand. Nope. Not quite. He's going to have to move 1 square over by the looks of things. Does he have the movement for that?
He does.
All right. So if you
would be 25 feet there, and he can possibly even less. And then he can see.
I think so. Yeah, I think the blocking. Yes, that doesn't seem to go through what I see on my blocking, so that seems good to me.
Very good. All right. In that case,
let me fix Magic Missile. It's always broken. I don't think I've fixed it for Dorian yet. Yeah, it's definitely not fixed. It's 3d4 at first level, right?
3d4 plus 3.
Plus 3. All right.
And you could choose multiple targets. You could do,
higher. Where's the higher levels option? There it is. Higher levels is 1d4 plus 1. That should be correct. And so the way, you're obviously putting all 3 into one guy on this occasion, I presume. But in the future, we would, you just say the first roll is at this guy, the second roll is at this guy, and the third, and so on. And we would just roll it all at once.
Yep.
I think by roll, you're only supposed to roll 1d4, but I don't think that's fun, so we roll all the dice. By roll, you're supposed to roll 1d4 plus 1, and then that's the damage for every missile.
Oh,
I know. I don't like it either. So I don't.
I've never done it that. I've never done it that way in the entire game. So, and I never will.
No. Me neither.
All right. Submit.
Holy shit! Is that right?
That is
yes?
4 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3.
Wow.
11 force damage.
That is a lot of damage. Dorian kills this man. This might be the first time Dorian's ever killed a man.
Oh, I'm so glad I did it then. They're both dead. They didn't even get to act.
No.
They didn't get to.
There's no chance that any. Yeah, absolutely no chance you've been discovered. When you walk me through this Dorian execution, really, what does it look like, and how does Dorian feel about it?
So they talk through the plan. And this is kind of in character a little bit Dorian's plan, right? Dorian's idea was we hit them hard, we hit them fast, we prevent them from yelling out or running into the cave, and we might be able to just kill them without being discovered. And I think he sees what's going on. He can't quite see into the forest, but he hears Admand crack this guy. He hears Kratz shoot an arrow, and the guy, yelp probably, and then just sees Istria jump like a mad woman and just cha. And he's like, oh, I think that one's dead. I've got to do my job. And he runs up to the side. He sees that he's dead, or probably dead, and sees the other guy who's like shocked, probably terrified. I mean, imagine the terror. You're playing dice with your friend, and literally in seconds, all they probably heard was steps before Admand raises a hammer to one of them. And next thing you know, one of them's dead. The other has mere precious moments to grab his weapon and defend his life. And Dorian, without hesitation, he says the magic word, magicum missilum, or whatever, and he throws out these missiles. And I imagine that they look like little, almost lightning, almost like little beams, like arrows, like light arrows that move through the air, and they impact against this guy's skin. And I think, I don't know, what is force damage? What does that look like, I wonder? I don't know, but I imagine it just looks like his chest is caved in by the force, right? His chest is just caved in, and he just rolls back suddenly and is dead. And Dorian is breathing very slowly, and he's like, I did it. The plan worked. But is probably a little bit traumatized.
All right, great. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Admand, not traumatized at all, extremely happy. He's like, yes. He doesn't say that, but he's thinking that. He's like, yes.
It's very, very effective. Yes, every single person was needed for that, and you all hit, and you all very efficiently were able to achieve your objective. And so here you are, 2 bandits dead at your feet.
All right. We immediately, I think, have everyone move up.
Yep.
We're going to try to get away from the cave mouth. Get quiet. And I'm going to have the others, I'm going to have Admand keep an eye to the cave while the others search the bodies.
Okay.
What do we find?
Between them, 9 copper and 6 electrum pieces. They have their dice, which don't appear to be particularly valuable. They're just made of bone. A little wooden tray they were rolling it on. It's pretty well made, but probably isn't particularly valuable. They each have a scimitar and a light crossbow, and 12 crossbow bolts each.
Istria might want to take those because she has
As a hand crossbow, right? Yeah.
as a hand crossbow.
I think actually, yeah.
Are you wanting
Go
me
on.
to track ammo on them, or are we just hand waving it?
Yeah, my idea, because I like the resource management, so for you, we're going to track stuff like that, but I'm thinking of your companions' initial ranged weapons they have infinite ammo. However, if you eventually get stronger ones, then maybe we'll start tracking it.
But still, I think part of the justification is occasionally at moments like this, Istria refills. She's going to take
That's
their crossbow
reasonable.
bolts,
I like that.
put them on her person so that she has some more ammo. And I think we'll leave the rest for now. Take the money. Also, I am loving this spreadsheet I made. Literally, I
Nice.
just type in the money, and it auto says what everyone gets. I'm glad I added an Electrum function. I was like, are we going to use Electrum? Yeah, we'll probably use it. And then I did. Yeah, I'm glad I put it. Electrum is the value of it is weird, right? It's half a gold.
I think that's right.
It's like 2 Electrum is 1 gold, 1 Electrum is 5 silver.
Let me just double check that.
Okay.
But I think that sounds right.
Which is pretty valuable.
Yes.
If we found 6, that's like 3 gold. That's pretty good.
So 1 Electrum is half a gold. Yep, absolutely.
Okay. Cool.
Which makes sense. 'Cause it's half gold.
Oh. Didn't know that. And then everything else is base 10, right? 10 copper, 10 silver, 10 silver, 10 gold.
Yeah, 10
Or
gold
10 silver, 1 gold, 10
gold
gold, 1 platinum.
into a platinum. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I
Okay.
don't know if I think this is a common thing, but it's similar here. Electrum is often a sort of former currency printed in a previous time, or currency printed in a specific area. Sometimes, like Silvery Moon used to print big Electrum coins, not your standard ones, your big Electrum coins called unicorns. But most Electrum you'll find is like a Netherese or Delzoon coin. You know, it's not. You don't have a lot of modern printing of Electrum because they think it's dumb. Why not just make it base 10?
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, surely you could, though. You could just make it a size that it would be base 10.
Yeah. Although then you would
Oh,
have
wait.
the
No,
weighting.
because then it would just be the value of silver.
Also, it's where they don't want to do that because they want to make sure that all coins are 50 to a pound.
Coins have the
for
same
easy.
weight.
Yeah.
What an exact science. All right. Yeah. So I kind of like it though. I mean, you think about historical currencies, and they were usually pretty weird. Like,
Yes.
even I mean, what? When was the British pound reformed? Because wasn't it like 200 something pennies to something a shilling, and then
I think
12
it's
or
within-
it wasn't base 10.
It's
it was
within
like
the
weird.
lifetime of some old people, I'm pretty sure. I think it is within
Yeah.
the last 80, 100 years.
Yeah, but it was weird. Like,
But I think
it-
it's because like currency itself is a strange thing, right? There is an object that represents value. That is in itself quite a difficult thing to make uniform.
Well, and I'm a big Roman and Byzantine like fan of that period of history, and there was so much debasement in the currency at the time because the government was constantly running out of silver and constantly needed to, and at the time they didn't really have the monetary theory we have now, so they just thought print more money when you need it. They didn't really they kind of understood it, but they didn't fully understand the problems with inflation.
Yeah.
And kept debasing their currency. And merchants were smart and knew it was debased, and so they would not pay attention to face value. They would weigh the coins, and they'd say, this is the weight of like 10 silver, even though they got like 40 silver pieces on a plate. And they'd say, so that's how much you're paying me. And the person would be like, no, it's 30. And they go, I'm sorry, it weighs, it's debased. Anyway. Okay, so the Admand is going to he's going to look at the others and sort of nod. None of us have taken any scratches. We're all good to go. That was could not have been a better use of a first level spell from Dorian. That it's all downhill from there. I think that's so good. And Dorian, I think Admand is going to begin to creep. Well, or do we have Istria creep up? I think we're gonna have Istria creep.
Okay.
With the goal of seeing if she can see if there's any enemies right, like, in the tunnel.
Can you make me a stealth check now, just so we can get a good idea
Absolutely.
of how stealthy Istria is being?
Hope she's stealthy. Come on, you have high stealth. You can do this. Oh, here's a question. I don't know if I'm going to do this, but I have inspiration. Could I use inspiration on my NPCs?
Absolutely.
Yep. Okay, it's good to know. I don't know if I'm going to use it just yet. I don't think I will, but I'll keep that in mind. Okay. Oh, I don't. That shouldn't have been advantage.
Okay,
I can re-roll it.
We'll always take the left one when accidents like that happen. It's fine.
Okay.
Which in this case is advantageous to you.
Yes. And she's just gonna creep. Can she, like... No, that's not a thing.
That's not a thing. You can hold Alt while you're moving and be between squares, and I think out of combat I'll allow you to do a bit of that. I'm just gonna make hold right there. I'm gonna make a quick roll.
Some of the light stuff, by the way, is a little bit...
Yeah, I don't quite know why there's a little triangle in front of you.
There's like a triangle here, so I can't see anything past there, and that doesn't seem like
I think it's just
object.
because of where the lights... It's not an object, it's just because of where... Because I've had to make this a little bit... I've had to alter this a little bit, because I didn't want to use global illumination, but it is daytime outside, so I've put some fake suns around. And so they're just... I think I can perhaps add another fake sun to fix this issue, so let me give it a go. Here, if I put a fake... Yeah, there we go. This fake sun should alleviate a little bit. It's still not perfect. There we go. That fake sun appears to be giving an effect that I'm happy with. My roll.
I can see someone deep down.
Ooh.
In the depths.
And how perceptive are you?
Istria?
No, not Istria. Okay, cool. Yeah, nothing is currently happening. You can see perhaps the silhouette of a humanoid figure up on up above you, raised. I think you can probably just about make out that there is some sort of bridge up there.
I can't see a damn thing in that corridor. Is that real? Is that because of the lighting? Like,
yeah, I think this is where we're leaving the lighting now, because there is no lighting in here. It's just the sun coming in.
They don't have torches in here?
Not in here.
Wow. All right, in that case, Istria's going to assume... Does she see any light coming from inside? Does it look like they have torches or fires deeper in the cave?
Roll me a perception check.
Because if there's absolutely no light in there, she's not going to go much deeper. Because she could get herself into trouble.
You can't make out any light. It seems quite dark in here.
I think she's going to creep back. Go back and report the little bit that she's seen. That there's a dark little room to the right. She can't see in at all. It's very dark inside. And that she did see some sort of guard up on a pavilion. And Admand says that he'll take the risk to go in now to see what he can see with his dwarven eyes. Is that enabled on the token?
I think it should be. Let's find out, but I think it should be.
Do you want me to roll for him?
Yeah, roll a stealth check.
This is going to be brutal.
Well, the NPCs are certainly not at their best today.
4.
Ooh, they're better than that, though. Anyway, you may proceed for now. Splashing through the water as you do. Okay.
Oh, fuck!
Yeah. So at this point, these 3 dogs chained. They are all chained to this stalag. I'm going to say mite, but I forget which one. It's on the floor. They're all chained to this. But they all see you as you step onto the staircase that does lead up a little bit. And they all just start barking at you.
Yeah.
I think we should roll initiative here.
All right.
Yeah, let's do that.
Fuck. Dorian.
Dorian's gaming today.
Dorian is on his best game today. He's stealthing in. He killed someone with 1 shot. Rolls nat 20 on initiative. He's literally just a killing machine today.
What's Istria's dex? It's 16, right?
That is correct.
Okay, so she's going to go ahead of the wolf, which goes ahead of Admand. Okay, so Dorian's heard this barking coming from the... Actually, yeah, it's probably loud enough for Dorian to hear. What is he going to do?
I think Dorian is probably a little worried that barking is going to give the entire game away. I think he's going to move. Let me make sure I can do that. 5, 10, 20,
If you
25.
pick up the token and then right-click, you'll start drawing out a path, and you can right-click to put like breaks as you go. And then after you drop, it'll show me the path you took as well.
Is there any way to calculate the difficult terrain?
No, other than just adding 5 to whatever.
So 20. So that's be 25.
That's correct.
So he'll go there. And then I think that from there he's just going to,
Fireball.
Yeah. Oh man, a fireball right now would be fucking epic. Just shoot a fireball deep within the tunnel. Hopefully kill some people. Because I mean, the way you rule fireballs are both very risky, but also highly advantageous to the PCs if they use them smartly. Like,
For sure.
I mean, the way they work in your game, you could blind fire them and have a pretty good chance of killing someone because it's filling the space as long as you're pretty sure you're far away. Yeah, so I think that I'm trying to think. He could I think in this case, now do you have to be within 5 feet of someone to aid someone, right?
Correct. Or 5 feet of an enemy to aid attackers.
Okay. Well, I think in this case, actually, I'm just going to have...
Sure, you meant help, right? Aid is a spell.
Help.
Yeah.
Help.
I knew what you meant, but I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page.
I think in this case, Dorian is going to... do you allow prepared actions in combat?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I'm going to have Dorian prepare an action that if he sees an enemy other than the dogs, because I think the dogs are a bit of a wild card right now. Also, he can't see the dogs. If he sees an enemy come down the tunnel, he's going to shoot magic missile at them.
Okay, so a couple things about prepared actions. Most of this is raw, I think, but just to go through it. You can prepare actions. You use a reaction to unleash it. You can set a trigger, although I'm pretty open about you just using your prepared action whenever.
Okay.
As long, but if there's circumstances where you might get benefit, then I might wait until something is resolved. For example, if you get attacked and you say, "Oh, I want to," then I might let their attack resolve first.
And you can choose not to do it.
You can
always let it pass.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before your turn starts, I'll always give you a chance to do the reaction. If the trigger hasn't come up and your turn's about to happen and you still have your reaction, you can just send it right at the end of the round if you'd like, before your turn starts. With spells, though, you use the spell slot when you prepare it. And that is raw, to be fair. And you're concentrating on a spell until you're concentrating on it until you've used it. So.
Oh wait.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that changes things.
So you use the spell slot when you prepare it. But of course, again, I will let you, if your triggers haven't happened just before your turn, you can use the spell as not to waste it.
I'm not gonna have him do that.
You're concentrating on a spell.
For now, I'm not going to do that because I have no confidence that someone's going to come down the tunnel. So I am going to just have him sit tight for now because I don't want him to get chewed up by dogs. And that's end his turn.
Would you like him to dodge, since you still have an action?
Oh, sure. I'll have him dodge.
Cool. I tend in my games to use this blue circle as the dodge indicator.
Cool.
Cool. I think that gives you... So it gives you disadvantage on attacks against you, but I also believe it gives you advantage on dexterity saving throws. But
oh, cool. In case a fireball comes throwing out of that. In case
a fireball comes flying out. Okay, this wolf will approach Admand. Growl. Doesn't quite attack him.
It's a
but it
wolf?
Looks like it is about to. Look, it's a large, wild dog. It might be a wolf.
Does it look like it's basically at the end of its tether?
Yes.
Okay.
Especially with the elevation. It looks like it probably can come no further. It looks like it's about to attack, but right now it's just eyeing Admand with suspicion. And growling. Cool. A lantern is lit deep in the cave.
Shit, I should have prepared that spell. Could have immediately murdered this man.
It might have been useful. Kratz.
Kratz is going to move up. 5, 10. It's extra to enter, right? So that's 20.
Yep.
Can he from there? I'm gonna do an arrow. Can he see the guy?
I think yes, with 3/4 cover. A lot of rocks, a lot of cave wall in the way there, but I think you can probably see bits of him.
How about there?
Can you draw me another line?
Because he can move up one more.
I think it's still half cover. You sure you can move up one more?
So he was here. He moved 5, 15,
25.
25. Actually, so he might have been here because I thought he was at 30 feet. But even so, it would be.
Either way. Yeah,
it would be 30 feet. Yeah.
Oh, I see. You can move up one more, as in the move you just did. I thought you could. I thought you meant you could do it again.
No, that's all I meant. Yeah.
I think this is still half cover. There's still a decent little bit of cave wall in between there.
That's fine. But it's a little. But it was 3/4, right? So.
Yep.
So that's better. And I will have Kratz. You know.
Shoot.
No. What is the word? No mercy.
No mercy. Strike hard, strike fast.
Oh,
no
so close. It was an 18.
Oh,
so close.
He's getting closer. He's finding his range. 9
Assuming that's a hit.
A lot of damage. Yes, a 24 will definitely hit. But it does not kill this individual.
Just an arrow sticking out of him.
He lights his lantern, looks back down. Wait, there's another guy. Oh, God.
All right.
This wolf will approach Admand and growl. Istria.
Okay. So moving through allied spaces is difficult terrain and it stacks. So it could be now stacking doesn't mean double. It means So it wouldn't mean 20 feet, it would mean
Cumulative.
15 feet.
Correct.
15 feet to move
absolutely.
through the space.
Depending on your... actually, no, yeah.
That is a thing. Is greater difficult terrain a thing in 5e just by raw?
I don't think it's by raw. I think difficult terrain, is, much like advantage, is always just...
A binary thing.
Yeah. Which,
But it's...
for simplicity
I'm
makes
familiar...
sense, but, yeah.
I'm familiar with it from other... It's greater difficult terrain's a thing in a lot of systems. I think it was the thing in other editions of this game.
I think so too.
Yeah, so 5... 15...
Yep. And then that would be 30. You couldn't end your turn there, so you can't make
That's
that
okay.
move.
So
yeah.
but I can have her dash and make
yep.
that move.
Absolutely.
So 30 40. I might have to move her up there to not have disadvantage on the shot. Yes, no disadvantage on the shot. I'm gonna have her take it. What's the cover situation from here? Is he out of? Is he uncovered?
Can you draw the line again for me? That is uncovered. Yeah.
She giggled. Get wasted. Meanwhile, on Admand's turn, he's about to do some things that would not be allowed in a Hollywood movie.
They're just little puppies.
So they're wolves!
They are wolves. A 16 will hit. Oh, and a 4 is perfect damage right between the eyes to slay this man. Roll me a d4, please.
This is feeling so... Like, everything is just coming together. This is like an awesome stealth mission.
Yep.
Where it's like, we're kind of losing stealth, but we're like, as soon as someone sees us, we kill them.
Clawing it back, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what were you saying?
Can you roll me a d4?
What do I know the meaning of this, or is this just a secret thing?
I can tell you. It's what direction he's gonna fall.
Oh, fun. What's the... Oh, why not a D8?
I'm just gonna do 4 directional. Just keep it simple. I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was recently I got into Starfinder a little bit, and there's grenades in it, and there are rules for grenades bouncing, and they're a lot like the rules for like the ball
Blood Bowl?
bouncing in Blood Bowl, and it's so funny because it'll literally bounce multiple spaces away, and it could accidentally kill your own people because it like moved closer to you. It's so funny.
I remember when we were playing Star Wars and the grenades versus what
Did
minions.
grenades bounce in that?
No, but I remember the way they interacted with minion groups was very interesting. I can't remember exactly what it was, but
I think it's that they would, if I remember correctly, it's that they would apply the damage to the minions as like multiple
if they
times
were,
over.
yeah.
And
But
so
then,
it would
yeah.
slaughter minion groups. You
It
could
would
like
destroy
clear
them.
out a whole minion group with a single grenade.
My roll 20 is being a bit weird today. Have you rolled that d4?
Yes, it's a 2. Sorry,
It's a
I
2,
rolled it.
okay.
It might not have come through, but it's a 2.
All right, I'm gonna see. I'm currently actually not currently locked out of roll 20.
Oh, that's not good.
That's not good.
It also says my connection to the server has been interrupted, which might. So maybe it's on roll 20's end.
I think it is, yeah. But hopefully I can get back in and.
But yes, it's that's a 2 on the roll, so I don't know
Okay,
where that would be.
He's gonna fall into the river then.
Nice. I don't know whether that's better, but I like it.
And I'm pretty sure that means the lantern's just gonna go out. I don't think I'm gonna make any further.
Damn
progress.
it!
Okay.
Well, that might be good for us. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. Everyone's like, shit, I can't see shit.
I'm gonna open another browser, I guess, and see if I can get roll 20 to work. Oh wait. Oh, I'm in. Cool. It doesn't say you're in though.
Oh, that's not good. Well, I can see everything.
Okay. If I
Maybe
move,
I could reload.
If I move Istria, I've moved Istria up a square. Can you see?
Oh, okay, I didn't see that. Let me reload.
Okay. I'm not going to reload my player view, so if you're watching this, I apologize. The view is going to be a bit messed up for the rest of this session, but in the interest of not messing it up any further, we're going to just leave that broken for a little bit. Okay.
In the meanwhile, that is obviously the end of Istria's turn.
Okay. She does still have 10 feet of movement, I believe.
Oh.
Oh,
why
this is
not?
another. Since you've been using dash a lot today, it's in the campaign docs. You might have read it, but just as a reminder that you can only benefit from one dash per turn, no matter how many ways of getting one that you.
Yeah, so I couldn't action bonus action move 90 feet.
Correct.
Yeah, that is. I mean, it does seem that is like some Usain Bolt stuff. Like that
comes up frequently with orcs too. So my orcs can't bonus action dash, then action dash as well. Yeah, so it helps you sometimes.
Why not? I'll have her move a little bit up just to get a little more space in here for the others.
Actually, can you move? Well, it's up to you. I'm going to turn out the light and see if that changes the. Oh, did that even work?
Okay.
No, it didn't work. Okay, there we go. Turn off the light. See if that changes anything.
Yep.
But
it has. I can't see now deeper into the tunnel.
yeah, would you have still made that move?
She can see where she's standing, so I think she's fine. She's mainly doing it to open up space in case Kratz wants to move deeper in or whatever.
All right. This wolf retreats back onto its hind legs as if it's about to rush towards you, Admand. If nothing else changes, these wolves will soon attack you.
Admand thinks to himself, "They're fools for not doing it sooner. I was planning on killing them the moment I saw them." And he swings back with his hammer and cracks this wolf's skull. He'll hope to do so.
Okay, I'm going to take this opportunity to possibly reload our player view, because it seems like Roll20 may have stabilized a little bit. Cool.
If I trained these wolves, I would have made them much more aggressive. They're far too timid. All right.
Well, they're chained up, but it doesn't particularly look like they're domesticated.
Oh, that's an unfortunate roll. That's a 9 to hit.
Although they are agile enough to dodge out of the way of your mighty hammer. They bark at you.
Shut up. I hate you. That is the end of Admand's turn.
All right. Dorian. His dodge ends. I'll take that off.
Dorian is going to... I don't know if I want Dorian to run up and get attacked by wolves, to be honest, so I think I'm just going to keep him where he is until I think I want to, at some point, maybe get him a sling or something for these kinds of moments. Because he doesn't have a cantrip, a damage cantrip, so I think I'll need to get him a sling.
Throw his dagger and just pick it up every time, you know?
That's true. That's true. Hey, and yeah, why not? Let's do it. I'll have him move here. This would be 10, 20 feet. No, so 25 because he has to move through Kratz.
Yep.
And he is going to throw his dagger at that one.
Okay. I think if this was flat terrain, I think Admand would provide half cover, but because of the elevation, I think you're fine.
Nice. I love the use of cover. Like, not enough, like, I think cover is an easy rule to forget about.
Yeah.
And I think it makes the game much more tactical when you think about it. Because it makes it worth moving to certain positions and, yeah.
It makes some maps you get also more interesting because you're like, oh, that could be cover. And, it's a very easy thing to start making map elements more relevant.
And you do not do flanking, right?
No,
there is no.
It's too easy. Yeah. To get.
Here we go.
I consider like the help action, or like there's lots of things where I kind of bring under inspiration. Like if you want to protect, like thematically flank, you can use your inspiration to do that, or the help action, things.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Throwing a dagger. I think it's the same to throw it as it is.
The same. Yeah.
To
that's
attack.
why I did. That's why I didn't put in an alternative attack method.
Hit?
That will hit.
3 piercing.
The wolf yelps. Woo! The dagger flies.
Dorian feels terrible.
Roll me a d20 on a 10 or higher. It kind of rolls back down the stairs and into a square where Dorian could pick it back up with a free object interaction. Okay,
and
Dorian
then
can do that if he wants to.
Okay. Yeah, he will. That's awesome. He will pick it up, but also we should determine if it broke.
Oh, we're not going to do that for NPCs.
Oh, okay. Just admin. Okay.
Just
cool.
admin. Yeah.
Cool. Well then, infinite dagger glitch.
It's the Fallout New Vegas companion.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
default weapons have infinite ammo.
Yeah. Why would I ever give him anything else? Why would I ever give Boone anything else?
Do you not?
I sometimes give them different
I love
things.
it. Yeah.
I will, because eventually you have so much ammo and so much shit that
That's
you can.
true.
But with Boone, it always feels weird because Boone's default is so good.
It is good. Although there are lots of good fun uniques for him, like Paciencia and the Gobi campaign.
The one I tend to give the most unique weapons to, for whatever reason, is Ganon. I love just giving Ganon goofy laser guns and big plasma guns, because I tend to run guns builds and not energy weapons builds. So often I have a lot of energy weapons sitting around, and I'll just give them all to him.
Veronica's easy. Just any unarmed weapon you can just
any unarmed weapon. Yeah. Okay, Dorian. That's Dorian's turn.
All right. Fine. This wolf has given up trying to scare you away, and will just attack you. It has advantage thanks to its pack tactics, but will miss, presumably.
Yes.
This guy's dead, but he's going to travel down the river a little bit. Can you roll me a d6 to see how many squares he goes? 2, 3, 4, 5.
Jesus Christ. That is a quick current. He's about to barrel into history and knock her down.
Maybe. Maybe he is. Maybe you need to get out of the river quickly before the corpse.
Run!
Kratz.
The corpse avalanche is coming!
Hey, that's an awesome name for a band or a D&D party.
That
The
is.
Corpse Avalanche.
The corpse avalanche. I'm trying to think, do we even fuck with these dogs? Why not just go past them? Is there any... Does Admand see... I don't see any pathways. Is there anything they're guarding?
Let me...
What does Admand see in the room?
Yeah, so this is... This is a small dank chamber.
Dank, bro.
At the back, it narrows to a steep fissure at the far end. So it does seem to go up into a very small passageway. Not passageway necessarily, but like I said, a fissure. But other than that, no, it's just the wolves, their refuse, a couple of empty bowls carved from wood. I think a trio of empty bowls.
I don't even understand why we would fight them. I think I think it's literally just as a method to announce that someone has come in, but I think people deeper in have probably heard we're here. I think and at this point, honestly, killing them is going to take so long that they're going to even announce our presence even more. Our best bet might just be to walk away from them. Oh, I feel bad about stabbing. Dorian feels even worse about throwing that knife. If the only one who damaged one of them is Dorian. I think Kratz is just gonna say, "Leave the wolves. We're hunting men." Oh, wait, but he gets extra damage on beasts. Never mind. I want to kill him. he moves in. He's changed.
These are actually aberrations.
Oh fuck. Do half orcs have dark vision? Does Kratz have dark?
Let me check. Kratz does have 30 feet of dark vision, yes.
Wow, that's OP. Okay, cool. I've decided I can't let the opportunity pass to get that beast bonus.
Of course.
So I will attack with the longbow against the beast.
Which one?
The one that's already been damaged.
Okay.
$11 to hit.
Ooh. 11 will miss.
Damn it. Never mind. I was a fool to ever suggest this.
Leave the wolves, misses one of the wolves. This time I made it. Leave the wolves.
I mean it. Leave the wolves. We'll skin them later for meat.
The wolf barks at him. Rrr, rrr.
Shut up. Admand says again, I hate you. Oh my gosh. Okay. That is all for Kratz.
Right.
Actually, I'm gonna have Kratz move up.
Okay.
So that was to
It's
get
worth,
where
I
he
think,
is.
mentioning that this whole corridor-ish thing does steep upwards. It's sort of moved. There's no difficult terrain other than the river, but it's moving upwards, and this bridge is even higher.
Sure,
It's above.
it would have to for the river to flow this much, right? So that makes sense. I'm gonna have Kratz. So he moves 15. He moves 15 feet to get around his boy. Can he step here? And that's 20.
Yep.
25.
Yep.
Oh, he's in business now. Okay, now he can see some stuff. I'm gonna have him stay there for now.
Okay. Excellent. Oh!
Fuck up!
I think a 21 will hit you.
Ah, damn it, you piece of shit! Yes, that hits.
Bite down onto your sort of forearm, and then I need you to make me a DC 11 strength save as he rips some flesh off. And then pounces
I
into
hate you. Yes. Okay, 9 damage. Damn.
Yeah, that is one off of max.
And then
Strength save.
you said strength. Admand,
Son of Madog.
son of Ardger. Ardger, I think. Here we go.
That's
Yes,
a success.
I'm strong. He yells. No, he doesn't yell it. And
All right, Istria's turn. She's seen you
Istria's-
mauled by a wolf.
Istria's like, we need to stop fucking around here. Can Istria aid or help on ranged attacks if she's next to the ranged person?
It's got to be next to the. She can aid on ranged attacks, but she has to be next to the target.
Ah. All right. Well, I think in this case, that would have been 5. I am going to have her. I'm just going to have her prepare an attack. If any other guys come in to within sight, she will shoot.
All right. Cool. I'm just noticing something. Oh, I guess. Oh, yeah, you can't. Okay, I understand. Wait, no, I don't understand. What? You can't see these bandits' hit points, but you should be able to.
I can see,
You can see the bar?
wolves bars,
not the
and I
bandits.
could see the bandits that we killed.
Outside.
I don't remember if I saw a bar on the guy I just killed, though. I don't think I did.
Yeah, although I'm looking at the settings and you should be able to, so maybe it's just Roll20 being Roll20. I think this wolf is going to try and scarper up this escarpment and bark as loudly as it can.
Oh, shit. Shut the fuck up. Oh, my God. I hate you. I hate you! Oh, my God. It's so dumb. And then Admand is going to move back into the water, but he's got to disengage, right? That's a thing.
If you don't want to take attacks of opportunity, then
Hell no. Those things bite hard. I'm not fighting these things. That was fucking awful. Also, the path tactics is ridiculous. I'm not dealing with that. So that's...
So you're taking the disengage action.
I'm disengaging.
Okay.
That's 10 feet. That's 20. That's it.
You can move back into the wolves' reach with 5 more feet of movement.
No, I won't. I never will. All right. That's the end of Admund's turn.
Okay. Cool. All right. Dorian.
Dorian looks at the wolves apologetically.
Oh, oh!
No, stop. Please stop. Dorian's an interesting one. I kind of want to get away from the wolves so they stop making so much goddamn noise. Okay, so this would be 10 feet. That would be 15 feet, which means that would be 25. I'm going to have him use an action to dash, so that would be 35. That would be 45. That would be 55. And then could this count as getting onto the land for 60?
I don't see until you release.
Oh, shit. Okay,
so feel free to release. You don't have to commit to the lot. You don't have to commit to any of this, actually, if you're asking a question. So you're saying how much movement has that taken?
That should have taken... So before he stepped there, it would have been 55 feet. I'm wondering if that last step counts as stepping on the land for 5 feet instead of difficult terrain.
So the way I'm looking at it is, does the water take up half of the square? It's really close. I think that there's quite a lot of land there, so I will allow it, yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to put Dorian there.
Cool.
And that's his turn. He's chilling.
The wolf looks up at you all angrily. And then starts trying to pull against the chain.
You're not even the one I attacked!
He's the one. That's true. That's
oh, wait, no. He is the one I attacked. He's not the one that got damaged. The one that got damaged was Dorian. Was the one Dorian damaged.
Okay, I think it's just this. Okay. It seems like he's not making much progress in ripping at his chain.
Just chill.
Holding.
We'll leave you.
Roll me a d6.
Oh god, the corpse avalanche!
Oh, okay, it's fine. He just moves one square. Sorry. Actually, we'll move him down to there. That makes more sense to me.
Oh, Jesus Christ, he's barreling towards me. He weighs 500 pounds.
All right, it's actually...
It's just the dead version of the Big Show rolling down the river.
Let's roll in a couple of people who might be invested in this combat at this point. We're at Kratz's turn. Alright, you may proceed, Kratz.
I may proceed. So, I'm assuming Kratz can see it, because I can see a bandit.
Sure.
In that room to the left.
Yeah, just about. I'm going to say that's 3/4 covered, but he can see him. He can see his head. That's all he needs to see.
That's all he needs to see. He's going to take the shot. Take the shot.
All right.
I would have him move closer, but I'm worried that he will expose himself to multiple attacks if he does that. So I don't. I think I like him where he is. I like that we're on this little ridge. So I'm gonna shoot that bow, and he's a beast, I tell you. I will get the beast bonus against him.
He's not a beast.
Damn it! That's a miss.
That's a miss. Yeah.
All right, that's his turn. Actually, no. Wait, yes,
nope.
yes, it is.
Yes, okay.
It is his turn.
This bandit sees the arrow. Force next to his head is like, oh fuck! He gets out of
Oh shit!
dodge.
It's game time.
All right. This one, wounded by Dorian, is also going to try and yank at his chain.
Oh, stop! Please, just stay chill.
Ooh, you can see as he comes one square further, and the chain seems to loosen a little bit. He's still attached, but he's able to get just close enough to make an
No,
attack.
you bitch! But this doesn't have pack tactics,
This
right?
doesn't have pack tactics, so it's a 19 to hit.
That does hit.
6 piercing damage as he nips at your heels.
Fucking shit! I hate
He tries
you.
to rip you down into the water. Right, make a DC 11 strength saving throw.
You are the worst.
Just gonna put that symbol on him so we know his chain is slightly weakened.
Oh, no!
Admand falls prone.
Oh no, and right as the corpse avalanche is arriving!
Alright, Admand is prone, which we'll use that
It's just
icon.
gonna become a part of the corpse avalanche.
And now it is Admand's turn.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, this
Well,
is
you
worth
can just-
mentioning because you have 25 feet of movement. I round down for this, so half your movement to stand up is going to be 10 feet.
Cool. And I can do that just fine, right? I can just stand up?
Yep, so you stand up, you're no longer prone, but you only have 15 feet of movement left.
This thing's gonna be a problem if it just keeps pulling on this chain.
Yeah, maybe you should have killed it when you had the chance.
Well, I guess now he feels like he has to kill it. Damn it, I was going to let you live! Why? And he stands up. Oh, we keep going back and forth on what to do with you.
The almost perfect stealth mission is beginning to hit friction.
Oh yeah, big friction with the wolves. The wolves are way tougher than the guards.
Maybe that's why they're here.
All right. To be fair, we haven't so far given the guards a chance to show us how tough they are. We've just been murdering them.
Maybe they have pack tactics too.
No. Son, oh my God, Admand, roll better.
You missed.
This is terrible. Okay, he's gonna stand there and like, God damn.
You gonna stand there?
All right. Well, if I move, it'll be attack of opportunity, and also then Istria is in the line of fire.
Worth mentioning, so it seems like I'm play 5 in a bit. You only trigger an attack of opportunity if you move out of a creature's reach.
Yeah, but I don't want to.
Okay.
Oh, I get what you're. I could move here.
You could move there. And now you're no longer in danger from the corpse avalanche.
Yes, I do want to avoid the corpse avalanche, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
We'll get the corpse avalanche out of the way. That's the end of my turn.
You continue to hear barking from deep within this kennel.
I hate
Istria.
Istria is pretty certain that like we're in a bit of a way right now, but realizing that at the moment the wolves have gone back to being the biggest threat, is going to turn her crossbow on the wolf and shoot at it.
All right, it's gonna be half cover because Admand's there.
Yes. Everyone's rolling well except Admand.
Oh! The wolf yelps.
Just die already.
Is that the end of her turn?
Yep.
All right. Dorian.
I'm so sorry. And he picks up his dagger and gets ready to throw.
There's a lot of people in the way at this point.
What's the range on that thing also? It's probably not very long. It's like... Should I look it up? The range on a dagger?
Oh, right. No, it's not going to be on Dorian's sheet, is it? Because I didn't put that in. I will find it. It's in the compendium here.
I think it's short.
20.
I doubt
20 feet optimally and then 60 feet total.
Okay, I'd have enough movement to move Dorian there, and then
Let's
I'll have him
cover.
Yeah, fuck it.
All right.
He'll throw the dagger. This is like a terrible family feud. You've got Admand yelling, "I hate you," and you've got Dorian saying, "I'm so sorry."
Kat's like, just ignore him. Just ignore him.
Oh! Dorian is on top game today.
He skewers the wolf. Ugh, knocks him into the...
Dorian has killed 2 things.
The other wolf cries in pain. Oh!
Admand says, "That's what you'll get if you get closer. That's what you'll get."
Intimidation check.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. This isn't an action. I could just do it for free.
Yeah, fuck it. Occasionally I'm nice.
Oh.
It backs off and goes,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Is that the end of Dorian's turn?
Dorian is just like a monster today. I'm going to have him. Yeah, why not? That'll be the end of his turn.
Alright. The passage is suddenly filled with a mighty roar.
A roar?
A roar as a huge surge of rushing water pours down from above, filling the passageway. Not just the river itself, but the water is flooding even onto this part that you guys are stood for. A massive surge of water comes rushing down the passageway. I'm going to need everybody to make me a DC 10 dexterity saving throw.
Some sort of water mechanism? What was the DC?
10.
Dex?
Yep.
Oh man, should probably roll for Admand. Don't really want him to get washed. Should I use this the time? Is this the time to use inspiration? This could be an important
inspiration.
Why not? You know, use it or lose it. I'm going to use
Absolutely.
inspiration and roll advantage on this save for Admand because he's so bad at Dex.
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
You dodge out of the way of the rushing water. You're able to keep yourself steady. What about the other three?
Here we go. Istria. Could have
Just
been
about makes
better,
it.
but okay, just makes it. Which, to be fair, that means that her skill was what pulled her out of that. Like, it wasn't luck. It was like if she was not as good as she was, she would have fallen in. Okay, a little dex from Kraft. No.
Okay. He begins
All
to
right.
be to be washed away by the current. What about
doesn't sound good.
Dorian?
Dorian, if he gets washed away, it's not the end of the world. Well, then again, he's kind of the linchpin of the whole party right now. He's doing really well.
Whoa, so both him and Kratz begin to be washed away by the current. They begin to be knocked against the cave walls as they get pushed down the river. I want them both to roll me DC 15 strength saves to get a hold on any of these rocks.
Fuck. Okay, Dorian's strength sucks, so here we go for Dorian.
Oh, he makes it! He clings on, I'm going to put him here, to the side of the cave and manages, he's prone, but he is still there. Kratz.
Okay, in the tradition of people who should be able to make the check, not making it, the people who shouldn't be able to making it, this does not bode well for Kratz. It does not bode well for Kratz.
Kratz is washed all the way down and out of the cave, bumping and bashing against the cave walls as he does. And he just rolled me a d6 for me, and that is the amount of bludgeoning damage that Kratz is going to take. 4 bludgeoning damage. Dorian has held on. Istria and Admand have avoided the bulk of the current, but Kratz has been washed away as you continue to push into the lair of Bromara and her bandits. I think this is a good time to end the session for the week.
Oh, nice. Huge.
We will come back next week and conclude this situation.
The situation. This is exciting.
Excellent. I'm going to say that current also washed the corpse avalanche to the same spot, because I think that makes sense.
Nice.
And then we can get rid of him on the initiative order, make it a bit cleaner for
Free corpse loot for Kratz.
True.
He reaches in, finds a +1 bow. He's like, shit, this is awesome.
Yeah, we'll maybe we won't we'll try and keep it on that turn for next week. But I'll also just take a screenshot of the turn order in case we need to remake it. Cool. Alrighty. You enjoy that session?
Yeah. I mean, what a dramatic conclusion.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen next time?
Who knows, indeed. You killed a wolf.
What I'm thinking right now is, my hope is that they have some sort of reservoir of water that if they pull a board out, they can quickly flush things out the tunnel. I'm hoping it's not an infinite reservoir of water. I'm hoping that it will drain away rather quickly, and then it'll, like, otherwise we're screwed. If this is ever, I mean, we'll have to get into this kind of situation, because that might give us some cover. We'll figure it out, but it's definitely a little bit worrying. Yeah, and all right. Is there any XP for the session?
Yes, so obviously not a ton because you're sort of in the middle of something, but I'm going to give you combat XP for the creatures that you have killed. And I'm going to give you a little XP for the start of the session where you're sort of gathering information, putting some theories together, which I liked. So 50 XP for everybody.
Hey.
Cool. Any other comments? Anything else you want to go over before we finish? Or questions?
No, I think I don't have any questions. I think today was a lot less lore and a lot more action, which I liked.
Good.
And I mean, I like both sessions, but I think I'm excited to see if we survive. I think I'll say things are already looking pretty rough for Admand. He can now.
Those
he
wolves.
does have those wolves are rough. He does have second wind, and I'll probably make use of that for this dungeon because he can get back an immediate boost of, I think it's a D10 plus 3 HP, which is not too shabby, especially if you.
I didn't give Kratz a version of second wind, did I? I think I took that out for his beast's ability.
Yeah, Kratz does not have second wind.
Okay.
Kratz is not as badly off though, and I'm also
Yes.
not as concerned about Kratz having taken a little bit of a hit because I'm hoping to keep him usually on the back line with his bow, and I think that Admand, I need to get him in better fighting shape right now, health wise, because he's kind of the frontliner. So it's like he's
right now Dorian's on the front line.
Right now Dorian is
the rocks.
I think Dorian will do fine on the front line. He's so far the
decent.
toughest man in the world.
Yeah.
He's killing people with
He doesn't have
spells.
his dagger though. We should remember that. I'm going to put a little dagger.
Doesn't have his dagger,
Yeah.
but he does have his ingenuity, and he has his smarts. And he's got a dream.
What is his dream?
His dream is to not be in this situation.
Well, we'll see next session if he achieves that dream.
Also, that first roll from Admand, like so the stealth to get in and the attack on that first Scarlet guy, great rolls. Every roll Admand has made since then has been absolute garbage. He has not hit anyone else. He has failed every other thing. I guess he succeeded against the water just now, so that was good. But
That was good. That was important too.
That was important.
Yeah. You saw what happened to.
Yes, it would have been
Kratz.
really bad if he had gotten washed out and taken even more damage. So I'm glad that he didn't. But
It is the curse in my games of the champion fighter. Everybody wants to be one, but they always seem to never get good rolls. It's it's just the curse of it.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean that is right. Yeah, you gotta get your rolls. But hey, that's life, and that's life. I think that's all for me.
All right, great. Well, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and we will be back next week, same time.
Next week, same time.
All right, next week, same time for episode 3 of the Admand expedition. There might be some exposition, but not guaranteed, as Admand continues to clash with Bromara and her bandits. See you guys then.